it's me, it's Ash, and we are still on phase 3. But we're almost done. We are just about done. We literally just have to find a sunken freighter and explore it. So, that is all we gotta do. And I am waiting for the storm to pass. Because of course it just started. First this expedition, yes, I'm not a big fan of it. But that's okay. If we can get through it today, we can do something different tomorrow. I don't know what we'll do tomorrow. Oh, part 2 wasn't too bad. Part 3 is... Oh, here. Do you see that code? That well, I don't know that there's an actual portal out here. I'll go to a different planet and get the portal code for you. This planet has, water deep enough that you can take your Nautilus and just take it straight down. Oh, yeah, that's right. I've got my...
Recharge.
So, yeah, I have to get on a different planet because I don't even know that there's a portal on here. Destination reached, but there's a base here instead of a freaking freighter.
Oh, that'll be fun. What do you need a freighter for? Oh, you're
the
doing
expedition.
Yeah. Never mind.
He must
That
have
was-
destroyed the flippin' freighter.
That one annoyed me. I didn't mind the expedition, but that one annoyed me. Waiting for that damn thing. Oh, yeah, the underwater one. Just, hello, chat.
Shard says hello. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to go to the other side of the world. Apparently, it's just gonna sit here and ding this stupid base. There may be. No? It is nowhere around here. That is freaking frustrating. Oh, that's because Shard's in. Hi, Jean. Guess what? Panda's back. I didn't have to do a daggum thing. Oh, and Hydrate's working again. See? Let me hydrate. Since you were so nice to do it. I found what? Hi, Feely! Yeah, I told you.
Just had to. They're all testing you. So, are you still looking for the freighter?
Yes.
So, what was Fighter gonna do today?
He's playing Enshrouded.
And now you're wishing you too were playing Enshrouded.
Yes. But I also want to get this
done.
Yeah, because I want the ship at the end of it. Oh,
Yeah, I got
Feely
him in
Boy is
creative
saying
too.
hello.
Yeah, hey Feely Boy. I'm trying to decide what I want to play. Because I'm playing No Man's Sky on Monday, so I really don't want to play it today. It's not that I don't love it. It's just I have so many other things to play. Have you seen that Avow?
I have looked at Avowed, and I am really curious about it.
So it plays a lot like and I only played, so you can't vouch me on this, but it plays a lot like Outer Worlds.
Huh.
And the dialogue is a lot like Outer Worlds. Did you play Outer Worlds?
Nope.
Oh.
I have heard it. I've heard a lot about it though, and I am really
Avowed
intrigued.
or Outer
Avowed.
Worlds? Oh, so Outer Worlds is on PlayStation 5. Avowed is not. They've only made it for Xbox. But if you have the Xbox Pass on your computer, you can play it, I'm sure.
I've heard it's also on.
That's possible. It could be on Steam. But see, I have a Game Pass, and my Game Pass lets me play either computer, PC, or otherwise. You know what? I think I'm gonna do Power World.
Okay. I haven't done
Not
Power
on my
World in a
PC
while.
though.
Yeah, I know.
No. Except for my controller's not working well.
That's not good.
Roger bought me a cord for it. It's a really long cord because I needed to be able to move around, and it's wonky at the where it plugs in, so it keeps turning my controller off.
Gene just said I literally just stopped Power World 5 minutes ago. Yeah, that is actually my ship that I summoned from my regular save. That's my Sentinel ship. Oh, Ancient Bones. I need Ancient
Well, that's because
Bones anyway.
Power World just got some updates.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't it? Oh, another aquatic planet. There's 2 aquatic planets in this system.
Some of the systems in the expedition had all water worlds.
Well, this one is not actually in the expedition path.
System. Yeah.
Oh, you got your smoky pal today. Didn't you send me a picture of that yesterday?
I'm still just clearing the map on both of my saves. I haven't decided what I want to do otherwise for it. Avow also reminds me of this other game. It's on my PlayStation, but I can't remember the name of it that I played. It was really popular 2 years ago, but you had something on your face, and you had to go to this other country with a prince or princess. I can't remember the name of that one.
It is in the system. That's alright, I'll just... that.
So I won't be here for 2 Saturdays. The 1st and the 8th. Right. I won't be back in Oregon till the 9th. We're going to Legoland, the San Francisco Exploratorium, and I'm going to take my other daughter and grandson around where Rachel grew up while she hangs out with a school friend.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it'll be tiring though. Take me a week to bounce back.
That the way it always works?
Not when I was younger.
Come on, get up there. Thank you. There we go. I always delete it because then I always have it. Oh, so you got that picture from online, but you actually got the Smoky Pal today. That is cool. I like the way that looks.
I finished the parrot Lego thing I was doing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'll take a picture of it and post it.
Oh, please do. I'm off planet.
Yeah, I need something easy. I got a bit of a headache.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna mute you for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. I've been muted! There we go. 2 minutes isn't so bad. Do. I really love the new underwater. I really do. Yay, I got one this time.
All right. Sorry, I'm back. I had to remind somebody I needed batteries or I'll forget. And then when I'm at the store, I'll be like, oh, what was it I needed?
Log extraction complete. Read log. Life goes on, day after day, delivering after. I hope to go home soon. Life of a... not for one like me. Multiple sentinel energies signatures active, requiring immediate dropping out of warp. There's the sentinels. What are they doing?
Having a party. You know, I'm missing parts of the storyline. I didn't realize that there were other story parts because I only did expeditions, but I didn't really play the game for a while.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. What is it? Apherage and trace of metal because it was sentinel stuff. So I did trace of metal in my creative, so I wouldn't die. So I would know what to do when I went, because I doubt I'm gonna be able to do that in my regular save, because you have to take on a walker.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna get to this part on my regular save, so I'll never be able to visit gas giants. Because you have to finish some of those. Though somebody said you didn't have to anymore, so I'm gonna try and see if that's true or not.
The walkers aren't that bad.
Ashenda. Every time I have tried to engage a game where I play with a walker, it takes 3 hours and nothing comes from it except me dying over and over. And oh, wait, over again. And maybe some more over.
Okay.
So I know for other people it's not an issue, but not the case for me.
Okay. I will leave it at that then.
Well, I mean, I just play with other people. So, because Walt said he'd do it with me, so I might have to take him up on it, and he'll kill the walkers for me. There was another one where you had, remember what was it that you had to do where you had to collect all the brains? Right after next, there was a thing you had to do where you had to go collect the brains of the walkers.
I remember it, but I don't remember it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, me too. I remember doing it, but I don't remember what it's for. So anyway, I had two friends that helped me with that one. Savjad, I think, not Savjad, somebody else, but yeah. Because I could not get through it at all. I just weeped. I was like that pretty princess that says, "Oh, I'm so handicapped, please help me." So, sometimes you just need help.
Yep.
That's it. Grin and bear it.
It took me a while before I could actually take on walkers.
Well,
but
I guess I have something to live for. I can try.
Well, you know, it took me. Let me give you a little piece of advice that I found.
Mm-hmm.
My multi-tool. Wrong button. Let me get out of my sub.
Well, yeah.
Because that continues to drain even as long as I'm in it. My sub has, or my multi-tool has everything geared towards my bolt caster. And the reason being is, the stuff you get from the Sentinels for your weapon upgrades are also only geared towards your bolt caster.
Oh, interesting.
So when you're using the Sentinel stuff, plus, and they don't count against your weapon stuff that you use normally. So you use the Sentinel upgrades, plus you use your normal weapon upgrade. And you've got a powerful bolt caster. So suddenly you're taking stuff down really quickly.
Cool.
That is, if you can get the healer bots down.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem.
But abuse the shields that they're putting up. And you can, rather than having to go over to those canisters and using the square on them to get the, to renew your shields, shoot them. Just shoot them. You can shoot them at a distance and they'll still recover your shields.
Oh, cool.
See, I can teach you all sorts of things.
Sure. Well, I said I owe you a base still, so we're gonna figure out when we're gonna do that.
No rush. Besides, I'm in the expedition, so. No rush. There we go. Guess what? We are ready to move on to the next rendezvous. Phase 3 is done, guys!
Yay!
Well, for the most part. See if I can find a planet I can... I had to report a system yesterday.
Oh.
I don't know if you were there for it. I've never had to do that before. I hope they've done something about it by now. No, I agree. Ah, there we go.
After me telling you I'll take care of it, then you should have ended the whole thing.
Oops, sorry. You guys heard that?
Yeah.
Sorry. I think that it's just him being louder because the headsets are on.
That's alright.
I didn't realize I cooked that while he was still talking to me.
But do you have push to talk?
Yeah, I have. I have to hit the mic. Well, it slid. My hand slide. If my phone is very sensitive, so if my hand slides anywhere, sometimes things turn on without my permission.
Get that.
So, because I try not to. If I'm chatting with other people, I try not to do that. Okay, so let me go back here. So now you're in 4, right? Now you're doing 4.
I will be short. I will be shortly.
You know where I got stuck up on that expedition?
Where?
Is the nanites. I got stuck up in those nanites. I was like
I've like
500,
almost got all
600.
the nanites I need. I'll put it into Discord in a little bit.
Okay, so real quick.
Yeah.
Hostile scan detected.
Seriously?
Warning. Threat detected.
Yes, I know. I got a ton of them.
Hostile ships approaching.
Yes, Sentinels, do your effing job. Try to ram me. Do it, Sentinel! They attacked me. You really think I'm going to try escaping? Come on.
Hostile ships defeated.
Do, 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 do. Do, do. Yeah, I'm not trying to learn your words.
Units received.
My scanner's already as high as it can go. How many multi-tool? Or not multi. Nanite store. That's what's gonna be a brat. Oh, and I only need 900 left.
All right, there. It muted it without me muting it, which is a
Oh.
good thing. My daughter came in and talked to me, but stupid
Hey.
thing. Stupid phone.
Sounds about
Stupid,
right.
stupid phone. Okay. So Furry said hi to you
Hi!
because he's streaming right now.
Oh, okay.
He's playing Minecraft.
Could never get into that. But then again, you know how much I love building.
Yeah, but Minecraft would be Minecraft wouldn't be something because I mean you can explore, but unless you're building, there isn't much to do in Minecraft. So I could see. I mean, you could have a garden maybe and tame animals and breed them to kill them, but other than that, have a farm. But other than that, yeah, if you're not a builder, it wouldn't be a thing for you.
My friend Kaz, and I wish he would show it off, has a grand cathedral that he's been building for years in Minecraft. and it looks amazing.
So that would be cool. So not that you think that I don't pay attention. When you stream, it gives me a notice that you're streaming, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I can't always get to it because now I do that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday school stuff. So when you're streaming, I'm busy torturing children. Well, yesterday we had to stay an extra hour because long division was causing major upheaval in their lives,
That's
like
okay.
horribly. Well, it's okay. It's okay that I do that, but it's problematic that they have problems with it. Have you gotten through Blacktail?
No, I
Okay.
had to stop doing all that for uh, a certain expedition.
Okay, because I was having some difficulties in that, so I was going to see if you had gotten past some certain areas.
No, I kind of got stuck doing during this expedition, so I'll get back to it once.
That's all right. I'm stuck in Infinity, Nikki.
I haven't played that in a while, I'm afraid to say.
Well, I like the exploration in the game.
I loved it.
And I like the interaction with, you has just the right mixture of you having to talk to people and you doing your own stuff. And I like fighting the little darklings.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a difficulty with the duels that you have where you have to come up with the costume that's, the outfit that beats them with the designers. I'm stuck on one of those. So I can't go any further in the game until I figure out what I'm missing. Because I've done all the exploration now. I've done all the most of the side quests, not all of them. So I'm having this thing about, well, I can't move forward. So when I play the game, I really have to keep running around to try to find more money to buy the extra outfits or make them. So that's where I'm stuck on it. I will get back to it soon. But that and Genshin Impact are the two that I kind of can play whenever. Though I hear Genshin's thinking about don't quote me on this, but I think they're kind of starting to change up the game a little bit, and then they're going to make another game like it, like a second or a two or something like that.
Well, they've got like 4 games right now.
Yeah, so
at least.
Play that. Okay, why won't you start? Okay, well, that's weird. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so I'm gonna start my stream, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okie dokie. I love/hate gas giants. I mean, I think they're fascinating. You can get there's so many materials you can get. But at the same time, they are always extreme planets. Oh, I do not want to get. It is.
Extreme night temperature detected.
I absolutely love.
Technology recharge.
The thunder. I just wish you could hear the thunder.
Protection.
The thunder. Yeah, that would be cool. Hearing the thunder. Greetings, all. Shardvixen here. I'm kind of just chatting with Ashenda today. We're not really doing much. Nothing. She's doing No Man's Sky over there. I've given the shout out, the address for you to go and click on it if that's the thing you want to do. Otherwise, you can hang out here with me. I guess maybe if I can get the thing to work.
Oh,
It says it's streaming, but I'm not seeing it streaming. What the frick?
can someone give Shard a shout out over there?
It says that one's doing it. There we go. Wow, that was weird. So, okay.
Whoa, I do not want that to land on me.
I am just going to be exploring and doing stuff here in my new base and Power World. I don't know what I was doing.
We really need to do some Power World after I finish the expedition.
Yeah, we do. Back to Power World. You're the only one that I really do any of the... You or my daughter are the only two that I do any fighting with. Mostly I just explore. Build towers. Got a tower I built.
I love your towers, though.
They're not really, I was talking to somebody about it. They were like, oh, you build towers? And I said, yeah. But they're not, like, when you look at them, they're literally just stairs to heaven.
Nothing wrong with that.
Or if, like, in Minecraft, I built stairs to the core down south, you know, whatever. Okay,
Nothing.
so we are working on these over here.
I'm hoping if I can, I'm gonna play around with it. I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to stream a little bit of Enshrouded too.
Today?
Oh, no, not today.
Oh.
I still haven't quite finished 3. All I'm doing though is Rendezvous 3 and taking a picture of Rendezvous 3 and then I'll be on 4.
So what games are you currently playing through the week? What are the ones that you're playing?
Right now it is Blacktail.
Blacktail?
Yep. And anything else I've been flying off the seat of my pants.
Well, I'm just repeating it because from the people who are watching my stream, because I'm playing Blacktail, because Walt likes the game, so he might want to catch you when you're playing it. Hey, Feely boy, thanks for stopping by. And then Feely was over there at Shenda's too. So I was just curious, though, like, okay, so you're doing Enshrouded? You're
Not
streaming
yet.
that?
I
Not
haven't.
yet?
I gotta figure out if I can stream
Oh.
Enshrouded. I'm doing a Just Chat every Wednesday. That's our downtime stream. What? Oh shit!
I would have said Wednesday would be perfect for us then to do our podcast, but the problem is Wednesdays are not good for me, so...
Right, I know, but I'm doing... Wednesday is my downtime, and I know,
I mean, Saturdays right now would probably be literally the best time. Well, because you had said about having it as a separate than stream, so we could do... The problem is we don't have a background, you know, like, so we don't have a setup like you do. You could put your face on it, but there's no other background that can be done. I would just, on my background, would be like whenever we wanted to be able to Google stuff or have, you know, conversations about...
Yeah, I'll have my new avatar soon, I'm hoping.
Because my avatar is kind of... Me getting my avatar up and running is pretty far on the back burner as of all the things that I have to do. Because I went in and talked to somebody about my PC, and now they're like, well, it's possible your PC can't ever get on Windows 11, which, yeah, I thought that's a thing too. So if that's the case, like, I can't get it on. But I don't know if I want to spend the $200 to find out that it can't get on. I haven't decided if that's something I want to do yet, you know. Yeah. Hang on, wait.
No, I was just gonna
I
say
gotta.
the name of what it actually is. It's dioxin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I have to be careful what we say when I chat with her, Shanda.
No. I get that. It was just one of those things. I was like,
It was bugging you.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense, and now I actually know what it is. So now I'm at least a little bit better about it.
Yeah, so you could go watch Ashenda, or you could stay here because, well, if you want to see No Man's Sky, she's doing the expedition. So otherwise, I'm just going to be exploring. That's all I'm doing is bouncing around and exploring and checking out my. Look, I got a little mushroom dude.
We're also doing Cult of the Lamb. That's another one I'm doing. It totally blanked, and it's like, yeah, I'm doing Cult of the Lamb.
But so I have to kind of like. I'm working on getting a way to do overhead shooting when I do my reading of my comic books and my Legos and my art. So that's kind of that thing too that I'm working on right now, because as soon as I'm done with this other journal that kind of secretly made its way in my round of things I was doing, this happens to me all the time. I'll have this plan of where I'm going and what I'm doing with things, and then out of the blue something will pop up and I'll be like, oh. I mean, I don't have to make the lady a journal, but since it's something that I do well and she's having a wedding, and a wedding is, journals are good for weddings, I thought, why not give her one? But I can pop one out fast. I just take a long time for other people's because I want to make, this one's going to be pretty plain. No, they didn't change really, because, well, we were just talking about how to do a podcast. Because that's one of the things that Shanda and I have a goal for this year, is try to get a podcast up and running.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to figure out how the format of that podcast would look like. Because it's really hard to... it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I want to do a podcast, but then when you get to looking at it, it's like, well, how am I going to work this podcast into what I'm doing? Being like I have Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays that are all hooked up, that I can't really be doing much of anything unless it's in the evening time. And Ashenda doesn't really do, she's 3 hours ahead of me, so she's not really doing that kind of, the ability, I have to work around her ability rather than my ability of when I can stream. But now also, because I also have things.
Oh, thank you, Cuz.
If that makes sense.
Thank you, Cuzwalt, for the bits.
So that's kind of what we're trying to figure out, is how we want that podcast to look. Like, what is... when we could do it, and then how like our background's going to be. Because my idea had been, until we could actually get look at podcasting style software, right? My idea had been to have her play a game in the background, like a really chill game, and then we could have her avatar up and me moderating chat with questions and whatnot, you know. And it'd be nice to do interviewing style. I think we talked about maybe doing some interviews and things like that. So trying to get that, it's problematically hard to get things around, because we have so much stuff going, both of us. I guess it's the way. And then we both still have our disability, which causes problems every once in a while.
Oh yeah, podcast.
For both of us.
Really could be cool. We just got a lot of considerations to do, and how we want to do it too. All right, I need to.
Well, and then like Mary Lizzie wanted to join too, but she also has some. So, how do you make a podcast with 3 women that have disabilities? And have really different setups for their time frames too, because Ashenda also goes into, she has appointments and stuff that she does prior to her streaming on some days. That's why she streams later in the afternoon, But her
Also-
later in the afternoon is just my mid-morning or my midday. And if I don't usually, sometimes I don't get up really early because I'm having problems. Because, well, that wasn't really a podcast. That was kind of how we wanted to think about how that would look. So we'd been practicing it off and on. Ashenda's concept is that she thinks it would be nicer if the podcast wasn't connected to any type of other streaming. Like we came in for 1 hour and we do a podcast and then we could do whatever we wanted on after that.
Have like
Gaming
a
Mike.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you go first.
I just say I think that would be the better option. That way, it's people aren't confused when they come in seeing a gaming headline, and then we're sitting there talking about, you know, having a podcast-like setting. You know.
Right. It's just some of the podcasts I've seen in the past, they do that. They have a random game going on in the background, or they're searching on the internet. So it's like these two. So there's a visual thing going on besides just your avatar sitting there and talking is the concept. But I don't have a problem either or way. I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's just, this is all new for me. I've never done a podcast before. I've been on podcasts, but I've never actually done one of my own.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know how the setup of it should look like.
I know. This is all learning.
Now, I was going to say, Gaming Mike does a podcast now, and he does it on, well, he hasn't done it recently because he's been streaming No Man's Sky, but he was doing it with 2 other people I know from the Gepnik gang, and they would do it, and then I don't know if they pre-recorded it, or if it was live on Twitch, and then they shared all the recordings on the other channels.
Worth
I
asking.
haven't asked him.
Hi, Joe! Oh, and thank you
Guess I
for the
could ask
bits,
him.
because while I wasn't ignoring you, I just was finishing a conversation. Thank you. Ah,
That's because Walt, the Bit King,
he is.
he will pass on stuff all the time, which is nice and sweet.
He is sweet.
Don't tell him that. He's like all other people. They don't
What?
like to be called sweet.
Well, guess what?
You ever notice that? So some people of one gender love to be called sweet, whereas other people on the other side don't like to be called sweet.
Guess what?
I'm just saying. Maybe it's an army thing.
I don't know, but you know.
Because Roger doesn't like it either. He never likes people calling him nice or sweet. He gets really irritated. I'm the nice or sweet. Okay. Then stop doing nice or sweet things. That's what I say to him. Well, then stop being nice. Stop doing that, because people are going to see it as nice or sweet. Don't want to be seen that way? Don't do it. But he's not the only one. That's lots of people like that. I'd be like, oh, you're such a sweet guy. You're such a nice guy.
It is going well. I am finally out of phase 3.
Yay! Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. Everybody will be extremely excited.
I am extremely excited.
Well, I mean, everybody else too. They'll be waiting for you.
I am
So,
gonna kill me some kitty cats.
so, cause well, that's all. We're just still kind of in the planning process.
Roxy, come here. Come here, baby.
Because I'm pretty sure they also want an introduction. So we got to figure out how we want to make our introduction. And then like an outro, which we can attach also, you know, with all the places that we stream.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, it may end up being that we don't do a podcast, and I'm not doomsaying it here, just that it ends up being more problems in the long run. After we look at it and everything, we might decide, no, we'll just go back to doing a collab where we just chat and people can come and hang out and chat, and we're doing video games, and that's it.
That may be it, too.
So, I mean, that's just like when we're talking about it, because I'm right now in the process trying to get to where I'm in doing art at least once a week. I have pretty much kept it where every Saturday evening I am writing. So I do 2 hours of writing,
Dang,
which
no,
doesn't get me very far, but at least then I am writing because I want to explore in making like little stick puppets of my stories.
Oh,
So
cool.
I thought that would be fun, but the thing is then I wanted to look for people maybe who would like to be interested in narrating them. You know, not so it's not just me narrating them or something.
I'm
But I
no
haven't
voice
decided,
actor,
so we'll see what
but,
happens
you know.
when the first, when I see how the first one turns out. And if it turns out really cool, then, then I might see if other people want to chit chat on it. Because, I mean, the thing is that a lot of people, it's time. You know, how much time do I have to do these different things I want to do? Like, my son would be really great. He's great at doing different voices and stuff. But getting him to do them, because it's a time factor, is sometimes hard. You know, or people don't want their voice. Like Roger would be great for some of the more heavy, deep voices.
For what?
For my stories.
Okay.
Come on.
You want some accents on that too?
No, I just want the deep, deep, dark voices. The ones that put fear in people.
Okay.
The dwarf-like. I have a character that's a dwarf-like creature. I need you to do the voice. The deep, down barrel voices.
Oh, don't feel bad. I don't think anybody likes the sound of their own voice because I hate my voice.
No, it's because it sounds different to us than it does to other people. So someone will come up to you and say, "Oh, I really like your voice," and you're like, "What's wrong with this person?" Because I cringe when I hear my voice. Thank you. I cringe when I hear my voice, not even over a secondary sound, just myself when I hear it in my head.
Mm-hmm. And I sound different, and you sound different when you hear yourself, through the head and you know. No, quit that.
What are you doing over there?
I'm getting thrown into tornadoes.
Oh, see, yeah, that was me. I was like, please stop, please stop, please stop. I don't want to die. Please stop, because you die and that's it. It's not even gonna. I'm gonna tell you, if you die, Shindo, just move on. Do not. Maybe you'll do better than I did. I don't know.
Do not, tornado alley. Yep.
Where's that one?
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
It says it's right below me, but I don't see it. Oh, it's not. It's in the circle. What circle?
Oh, no. Stay away from me.
Maybe that's the river. Alright, let's go this way. It's all the better to fall to your death.
I am not jumping so that I can use my jets when I fall. I've never been in Kansas. I've never actually been there.
To Kansas?
Uh-huh.
I've been through it.
Nope. I have never actually left the East Coast.
But you've been up and down the East Coast. We talked about that before.
Yep, I have been up and down the East Coast, but I've never left the East Coast.
So, like I said, Roger and I are planning next year or the year after a tour of the East Coast. We'll see his friend Unkempt in Texas. See you in Florida. Go up to Tennessee, see his sister and brother that are there.
I don't look anything
shit.
like I do on the screen.
Oh, yes, you do. You're just as beautiful. So you did change your hair, so you don't have that vibrant red hair anymore.
Nope, it's all blonde. And it's not long either. It's all cropped short.
It's easier to take care of.
Unless I
Crop
look in the
short hair.
mirror. And it's all
Not
over
easy
the
to
place.
take out when you look in the mirror.
Nope. Likes to stick up all over the place.
Mine does that every once in a while. You know what's interesting too, though, is that you think about think about how you wore your hair like in high school, or for 10 or 20 years at one given time, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you try to change your haircut, and your hair is like, no, I'm so used to doing it this way. What's that?
It came with a.
What color is that?
For you.
What color is that?
I don't know.
Looks like a coral.
When I pulled it out, I was like, oh, this was saved for a reason.
Coral. Looks like coral.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't know what you would do with it, but I just thought I bought my toothpaste specifically because the box was cool. Yeah.
My daughter's giving me pretty paper things.
Yes.
Hey, I didn't buy. Okay, well, I bought the toothpaste.
But my partner's going. Roger's over there going, paper, no, paper.
Medford gave me when I was leaving.
So there's this tissue paper that I think is the exact color of what I need for my cousin's wedding. So that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna make some paper with that. And then she got these toothpaste that came in this box that has these ridges on the outside of it, which are very tactile. So I think that would be fun to do something with. Yeah, see? Look.
Cardboard that's had one side taken off.
Yeah, look at this. So this is this color.
Yeah, it's really close. That's more of a mauve.
It is, but I bet you I could get away with it. I'd put it with a pink and it'll look more coral. So I have her bridal dressed, and then I've taken all the colors. What you do is you go into your Photoshop thing. Are you still there, Shanda? You go into your Photoshop thing and do an eye drop.
Yeah.
And the eye drop will give you the exact colors that are as the computer reads them.
Right, I know.
So, yeah. Well, I was just saying for other people who might not know, like Cuzwall. And then that way you can come up with colors you need for whatever project you're going to do.
I play with Photoshop all the time.
With Photoshop?
Yep.
Yeah. I play with GIMP all the time.
Don't play. I have tried playing with GIMP.
Well, that's one of those softwares that, whereas if you're really good at one, it's hard to do a different one. What was your problem with GIMP?
Just couldn't get it.
Because it is literally designed just like Photoshop. So they say. I don't know. I haven't used Photoshop since early 2000s, so I wouldn't know.
Weapon charge
anymore.
completed.
When I was doing my web designing class for my job, I used Photoshop. That was the last time. Yes, I have been to school to do all kinds of stuff, of which most of it's not even useful anymore.
A lot of stuff I'm self-taught. And the stuff that I don't get, I've taken classes on and I still don't get. Like
is
when
that not the way life is?
Mm-hmm. When I built a web page, I guess it was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My first web page was for my dad's construction company that he was working for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first summer job, was to build this web page. And they told me what they wanted, and so every time I would go, I'd start clickety-clack. Okay, I don't know how to do this. Let's go learning. Let's figure out how to do this. Oh, I need to do this? Okay. And that's how I built their website.
Yeah. Well, that's how I'd built websites in the past, but then my the company I was working for at the time was like, "Hey, you know, we want all the new fancy dancy stuff, and we'll pay for it. And can you go do things?" So I went, and the new software at the time that was out was Dreamweaver, and I was all like, "So if you just get Dreamweaver and we can train some people on it, you'll be able to build yourself a website and then have somebody maintain it."
Oh, so you've been to Boston? I have never.
Boston? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Coswalt says he's been to Boston.
Because Walt's been a lot of places. Kind of like Roger.
Hey, Birdie.
But not all fun places.
Technology recharge.
Oh.
I haven't
Okay.
been to Boston. I said I've been up and down the East Coast. Doesn't mean I've been everywhere. But I've been to I've been up to New York, New York. I've been to
New York, New York.
yeah. That's an interesting place. Harris Island. All sorts of places. Cherokee.
I just watched this thing on Instagram in which they were talking about a movie that came out, My Dinner with Aunt Andre, which came out in the 80s. I have never seen it, but it has the guy that plays the pirate, the bad, I think it's the pirate in, not the pirate, but what is he? Anyway, he's the one who steals the Princess Bride in Princess Bride. He
Yeah.
steals her. I can't remember his name though. Wallace something.
Yeah, I know
Anyway,
you're
it's a
talking
movie
about
that
Matt Wallace.
he made. Yeah, so he made a movie about where him and a friend that are playwrights and directors meet up to chat about, and one has stayed in New York the whole time, and then the other one went around the world and then started talking about the around the world. But so they talked about New York as New York being like that famous, and I can't remember the name of it. There's a famous research where they put people in a prison and they tell them that the guards are prisoners and the prisoners are guards, and so that they can't really figure out who they each are. And then they study the psychological ramifications of that. But so he started saying that New York City was like that, where people don't know who is who or what in the city.
That's
You know, like, yeah. So it was interesting because I know what he was like saying. It's like they built their own little prison, right? But then they get to where they don't really know who's really the original New Yorkers or who's invading the New Yorkers.
Huh.
So, yeah, so it's weird but that was made in 1980s at the time. So it was a very interesting take on, you know, how people see New York in the 80s, comparably to how people are seeing them now. So I'm sorry I took you off your mic screen and crack. It's like Stanford University did that study, yes. Did I like Dreamweaver? As a software, yeah. It was very it was much more user friendly than some of the software that was out at the time. I think now, because you can it wouldn't be worth it to buy Dreamweaver now, I don't think, and I don't even know if you can, but because places like Wix and WordPress, some of these places that offer you to build your own website is cheaper in the long run, I think, than maintaining your own website.
Oh, I hate those.
Because
places.
you still have to pay to put your website someplace.
Yeah, domain hosting. Yeah.
Yeah, you still have to find a domain hoster. So in the scheme of things, if you're paying for a domain hoster and your name, because you may not own your name either, because that's a whole thing. For 2 years, I paid for my name. I just kept my name. I never, because I wasn't using it, but I paid for my name through, what is it, GoDaddy or whatever. And once you stop paying for that name, they sell it off to somebody else.
Yep.
So,
Oh, you played Super Robot Wars? How is it? Well, you said so far so good. What's it like? I guess is a better question.
That's the one, cause well, thank you. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. I had to read it. You had to read it. It's required in clinical psychology to read that particular research study. There are quite a few research studies that are been done that you have to read, and when you're taking a clinical psychology, which makes sense. I mean, because it's one of those things that how they did research in the 1970s is a lot different than how they do research now, because the acceptability of, or the ramifications of how the psychology can affect the research can affect your studies is a problem. Social studies, social experiments especially, because they have a way of having results and after effects that cause people more stress than what you were trying to study.
You've had your domain name since 2002, huh, Joe?
Yeah, I finally gave mine up and said, whatever, take it.
I used to have a website with a domain name. I don't remember.
Yeah, I
gave
have.
it up.
Yeah, I did a website 3 years ago, and then a Wow Rhymes Time website. I'm gonna go back to that one, I think, and reopen it with Wix. I just haven't got there yet, because it's money that comes out at $10 a month to maintain a website. So that's money you have to factor into when you're spending money on your hobby, if that's really something you want to spend money on. Because Discord will do it just as well. It's just that a web page, I could set it up, and we're going to have a better, like, it's going to be like you went into a museum. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, was have one where it was like you were coming into the museum.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to forego that as a website, or if I want to, I could do a blog too. I mean, that I could go to WordPress and do a blog, and then my blog I could put my pictures up, and then also talk about art. Because one of the things I wanted to do, and I haven't decided how I'm doing it yet, is I want to talk about all the different types of art that's out there. And I have a lot of people who are very interested in watching that or reading about it. They wouldn't necessarily come to a stream for it, but they might be really interested in,
Oh yeah.
checking it out as a video or something they just had to go read someplace.
Oh, now that is
So,
an
I have to
interesting
kinda-
idea, Caswell. A blog idea with a podcast.
Yeah, you do that too. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. You just have to have the person that can maintain it.
Exactly.
Like, so if we were doing a blog with a podcast, the better way to do it is one time have, it's like we could share in the writing part of it, where you had the podcast, and then maybe what you did is you did the blog would be the after, this is what we talked about, da 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 da, and
Yeah,
here's
that
some of the
sounds
things that chat said, da 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 da.
That absolutely sounds like meeting minutes.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So we
That
could have
sounds
meeting minutes of our podcast and kind of review what we talked about, and then add new stuff to it as we saw fit. I mean, that's one way you could do that.
I mean, that's exactly what that sounds like. That sounds like meeting minutes. I used to write those up for, I would take
As we all have. Well,
I
probably
used to-
because you and me both have done that.
It's funny, I would take recordings of the meetings we would do at work, being an admin assistant, right? So I would take a tape recorder that I bought because I didn't know what they had there. I bought one and I set it on the counter so everyone could see it, and I'd turn it on. And then I would write the meeting minutes from that.
It's interesting, yeah. kind of what we all have done. I had to also do minute meetings
Meeting
for
minutes?
various things. Yeah, schools, teachers, psychology, all kinds of stuff.
They
So,
suck.
because my son is got a thing he's got going on for himself. He wants to start they are also looking to start a podcast of their own, which is going to be about D&D. He was looking to buy mics because he was talking to me about mics. And as is the example for all children and their parents, he's not really going to listen to me because he knows best. Gotta remember this about kids. They'll come back later and tell you, oh yeah, you were absolutely right, but I had to do it my own way, which I encourage. Everyone has to do it their own way, so I can laugh later. Yeah, Feely. So there's been, if you go back into from the 1950s to maybe 1940s on, even earlier, I don't know, but I've read from the 1940s to the 1980s research where they did what would be your social experiments on people to determine how the things that people do to you affect you. And then, what happened is during those time periods, when they did those studies, they didn't really think about, like I said, how it was going to affect the people afterwards, because it wasn't part of the research they were doing, and they didn't really care. So, oh, what the hell? You just sprung right up there. That was really weird. Teleported in, I guess. I like how those look, but I need you to go away from now. That's I don't want to engage with you right now. But yeah, so in the 1940s, they did an experiment. Maybe it was earlier. Don't quote me on this. My brain don't work so well. In which they were studying children who were left alone in cribs. Because it was already happening, children were left alone in cribs and orphanages and stuff. And so they decided to do a study on that as how that was affecting children in a long term. And that study was that they would watch those children over a period of 5 to 6 years to see if there was ramifications to them not being loved and hugged on, which there was, but
Of course there was.
but now they had actual proof of it. Because there's things that we kind of can sense, right, Feely Boy, that would have, but without research, you can't really go to anybody and say, oh, look. But even now, we live in a world where kind of people don't listen to research. So that kind of causes problems as well. But there's lots of good research out there, but there's also a lot of research that was good, but then somebody took 1 or 2 pieces of it and used it to say something different than what the research wanted to say about it, which is also interesting to me. Kind of interesting when you think about it. Interesting when you think about it. That's what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to be a researcher. After I built my school, I just wanted to do research.
I wanted to be a doctor, then I wanted to be a teacher, then I wanted to be a programmer. Then I found out programming was too hard because I couldn't understand the math.
I only had one bit of math that I had a problem with, and that was arrays. I had a problem with arrays, but I mean, it's just one of those things that if I had worked on it long enough, I'd have figured it out. And I kind of understand arrays to a degree better than I did when I tried to take them in programming. Though programming is much easier now than it used to be.
I went in 2001.
Oh, I know. I went in 1991.
Programming was not, and you were looking for an email service. Yeah, I understand why a hosting service would be better. But yeah, when I was going, that's phosphorus. I don't want phosphorus.
Paraffinium. Yeah, I did the same thing. But I picked up phosphorus because there was a shield I had that wasn't working as well, so I had to have the phosphorus. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just pick this up.
Technology recharge.
But Feely Boy, that's kind of the end result. We just need good doctors who want to help. The older you get, the more you realize that's kind of a need in life, and then it's not there. So you're like, okay. Jump. I'm just jumping. Yes, they did. And they even made a show about that because, well, there's a show on Netflix about I think it's Netflix, might be HBO. Oh, it's HBO. HBO has, and it's not HBO anymore, it's Max. But Max has, there is a whole documentary on the usage of the LSD on people in the 60s. The government did.
Yep.
And they have interviews and everything. It's really kind of a cool thing if you want to watch it. I don't remember its actual name. I'd have to look it up. So, but yeah, so again, and there's a lot of research that we don't even know is research until way later after, as in that one. But there's also research that was done on various like chemicals used in warfare. But now they're like, whoops, sorry. Guess what? That wasn't good for you guys. So now, they have a lot of veterans they have to pay for. But like, that's what I was saying is that there's a lot of research that's done that wasn't, and some things weren't meant to be research when they were done. It was only later afterwards that they were seen as research, because then they're like, oh, well, look what happened to a bunch of people, blah, 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 here. And then this happened to them, blah, blah, blah. And here's the after effects, blah, blah, blah. Oh, maybe we should do a research on that. Because literally, if you go to school to, let's say, be a psychologist or an anthropologist or an archaeologist, you're going to do a lot of research. Doctors, psychiatrists, nurses, because something's going to trigger in you, and you're going to be like, why isn't anything being done here? And you're going to have to find the research that supports or doesn't support it. I have a lot of stuff. I have so many interesting, weird stuff in the world, too. Like, I didn't know that people pay for pieces of the moon. Like, to own pieces of the moon.
Nope.
And that intrigues me because the people they're buying it from don't really own the moon either, but have convinced people that they own the moon so that they can sell pieces of the moon. I mean, so like, is it, because I would thought when the first time I read one of those, I was like, well, does that mean NASA's selling it? Because wouldn't NASA own it because they were the ones that were up there? But no, it's not NASA selling pieces of the moon. It's corporations who say they own the moon. Because, well, there's no one in the naysay that says, no, you don't own the moon. That's just weird. And how can you sell how can you own land you've never been to? But then we already kind of do that, so I guess that's kind of that thing.
You ever hear them selling pieces of Scotland to get titles?
Yeah, Roger did that. He got his niece and nephew and my son. I bought one for my son because I thought it was cute.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah. They don't own the land. Well, technically, I watched a video on that. You could go there and sit on your little parcel, but it's not going to be much of anything. It's just a little piece. Little piece of land. I get so turned around this game.
It's easy
I don't know why. I'm going to go that way.
This is such a pretty planet. Shame I gotta build a base on a hellscape.
You'll like having a base on Hellscape.
No, I like having a base on certain planets, not extreme planets. I don't mind hazardous, but not extremes.
It's a pretty planet.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting how they make the pretty planet so deadly to us all. I didn't know about that because, well, I'd have to look at that up. I have a friend that has that. I don't really spend a lot of time researching things that don't directly affect me, which is probably pretty much the problem with our world these days, is that we probably should research, even in school. Nobody researches things that doesn't have a direct link to whatever they're doing. It just, there's so much research out there. You spend all your life in the library and never move away from it because there's just so much stuff.
Well, maybe. Never mind. I'm gonna keep my shut.
What? Maybe if... Oh, no, go ahead, say it.
Well, I mean, that's the reason that epilepsy doesn't get as much as it should.
That's true. I mean, it's the same for everything. But you're more... So, not to be rude or anything. I don't want it to sound rude. This is not sounding rude. But when you're talking about, you're looking at research for epilepsy because it directly affects you. That's how we all of us are. And so in school, people aren't spending time looking at things that doesn't directly resent. And then I'll tell you the other sad thing, and I made sure that I wasn't part of this, but the other sad thing is that most people won't look into anything that they feel can't be cured. That irritates me to no end because that a lot of stuff for autism, the research for autism has been backshelved because you can't cure it. So that's why do people want to waste their time on it? They can't make any money if they can't cure it. So that becomes the other problem. I don't know about epilepsy, so I wasn't saying that about epilepsy, but for like depression and other things, the only reason money is being poured into that is because they make money with pills that are supposed to be able to cure you.
Well, the thing about epilepsy is they say 1 in 10, but it may be smaller than that. You probably know a few people with epilepsy, and you don't know it. And the problem with it is the one neurological condition that gets the least amount of money. And epilepsy can be fatal.
Oh, yeah.
It's called SUDEP, SUDEP. Sudden unexpected death in pain.
Yeah. I did a research paper on seizures for the direct link to children with autism. There are children with severe autism, which they have found out that their autism isn't as severe as they thought it was. The reason that they're nonverbal is because of seizures that their brain is continuously having, but nobody's recording because they're not showing the symptoms of what would be classic seizures.
Well, there's
but
no
I did
such
a
thing. There's
whole
no
paper
such
with
thing
them
as
now.
classic seizures.
Okay, and you know that. So, but I'm talking from a research standpoint, that's how they label it. There's classic symptoms for seizures that if someone sees it in a hospital would be able to say, oh, because you're correct. That's the problem here. So if you go to the hospital or something and you show these exhibit behaviors, this is how our medical system's set up. So if you show certain behaviors, then automatically you're set as this is what's wrong with you. The problem is then, as you've said, there's no classic symptoms. Same thing with depression. The same thing with schizophrenic. Same thing. There's no classic. There's just ones that you see more likelihood in people, the more common symptoms. Yep. So when you don't see the common symptoms in people, they will not be diagnosed with said illness because the way that doctors and psychologists are trained is that they have to look at people and say, do they have a checklist? Do they have these classic symptoms, which we now know there's no such thing as a classic symptoms, but they are reluctant to step away from that, because then that means, how do you know if somebody has something? Because it comes all back around with money, is that a hospital is not going to spend the extra money on one person to find out if that person has problems until somebody makes them do so. So when you have a child who comes in that's nonverbal, nobody's going to go, well, is there something going on in his brain?
The thing is, it's not just the hospital, it's also insurance.
That too. Insurance is a big factor. But insurance is a big factor for a lot of things. So that also is kind of like,
You know, the hospital doesn't want, you know, to piss off the insurance. Insurance company will.
It's who pays them. Right. It all, well, and again, comes back to that concept about money, is that that in our medicine, money is more important than taking care of people in the long term of things.
All right, let's.
Which is just sad. That's all, and it's something we've all experienced, all of us. Because my son was not diagnosed with autism because he did not show classic symptoms of autism. Though he did, he just didn't show it in the same way. You have to interpret it. So the research that I did at the time was with children who were nonverbal, and in some cases you had a hard time having any type of communication with them. So I interviewed and researched quite a few parents and children, you know, and then so then what we did was we had them be, the place that I work for had nonprofited money that went towards having those parents take their children in and having MRIs done. And also the one where they hook you up to record seizures.
Oh, EEG.
Yeah. And then that's how they found out that these children were, some of them having one right on top of each other.
Yeah, they're called, the proper name is electroecardiogram. EEG for short.
Thank you. But yeah, so they were having multiple mini seizures. They had a different word for them. I can't remember. I'd like to say I remember, but I can't remember. But then, so when we were talking about research, I turned that research in, and one of my instructors said, well, why don't we see if we can get it published? And we never could get it published. Nobody really cared. There wasn't a big interest in it. Because they said that it's a parent's job to, you know, say, oh, my kid's having these problems, I want to look into further stuff. And a lot of parents do, but some parents don't. They don't know how to do that. Which was my point, was that I just felt like it was, if people weren't spending the extra time to make sure, you know, that they clicked off all the boxes. Now, the thing here is that you have to remember that all those children still had autism. They just also had a seizure disorder on top of it.
Your daughter was diagnosed with autism at 7? Wow.
Yeah, my son was my son had a school diagnosis since he was in 5th grade, 11 years old. But he could not get any outside people to say he was autistic. So it wasn't until he was 18 that he had another psychiatrist look at him, and the psychiatrist go, I don't understand what's going on here. Why are they saying he's not? You tell me. And it didn't, because it wasn't it wasn't going to affect anything in the long-term scheme of things for him in school. And that's all I really cared about. And then when he became an adult, he had to determine what it would be useful for him or not useful for him to have that diagnosis. The only important thing to remember from that is that if you are autistic and you have anxiety, your anxiety will not have a benefit from taking anxiety medicine. That has been, I'd say, for most people, not all people, but for most people, Some people have reported that it did help in circumstances that it wasn't supposed to help in, but for the most part, because the anxiety isn't like a true anxiety, it's just more about how their brain reacts to stimuli. So,
Well, it's a good thing we got a team of medical professionals and did the brain mapping and testing. It was a life changer. I am so glad that you and your daughter have people to help you.
yeah, it is a life changer to get a correct diagnosis. Ask Ashenda, right?
Mm-hmm. I can absolutely tell you that is an absolute life changer.
Especially if she's had the same experience as I have, or people tell you it's all in your head. You know, you're just lazy. Something else is going on.
Yep.
And the reality is that, nope, that's not the case. So getting that diagnosis helps with those people that are telling you those kind of things, which I have to tell you are professional people. Some of them were well regarded in their field, the ones that I came across that would look at me and say, nope, we can't find anything wrong. You're
Matter of
just
fact,
crying wolf.
the person that actually told me that had been. I did not mean to land on that person's face.
Oh, is my inventory full? Oh, it is. Kind of need my inventory to not be full. What do we have? What is that? Real Gilgo. Let's feed it to something. Oh, me. I don't know. Let's feed it to you. And then let's feed that.
Ooh, they even got a Colossus I could probably ride.
And then Feely Boy, of course, is talking about our DNA, which has a lot to do with a lot of things, Feely. And there needs to be more research on that. More research. More research. But I just like research. I think even with the mathematical stuff that you have to do to be able to do research effectively, I enjoy research. I wish that was something I could do still.
Thermal protection falling.
Did you see? I was going to ask you. Did you see that the Smithsonian is looking for people to do handwriting?
No,
Read handwriting from the Civil War and translate it.
no, I would love to.
It's a volunteer thing. You should look into that. I don't know if they're still doing it, but somebody sent me one and asked me if that was something I could do, and I said, "Well, I don't have a lot of time. If I had the time, yes, that would be a thing. But it isn't a paid position. It is literally just a volunteer position, which is fine for me. I didn't need to be paid, but I thought that would be kind of a cool thing to do because if you like history, you'd be able to read about all the different history stuff, from that time period.
That would be
I'll see.
absolutely amazing.
I'll see if I can find you the link for it.
Yes, please. Please,
Um,
please.
and then I'll post it to you in Discord, and then anybody else that's also interested in that can go. It's not that old. It's probably about 2 or 3 weeks that somebody sent it to me. So I just haven't gone in. Because I don't have the time. So it's not a thing. But I thought it would be great to read those letters, though.
Yeah. You're talking someone who that would make a dream come.
Are we geeking out right now? Is this a geeky out thing?
You are geeking me out right now. I am totally geeking out. Okay, that would be like a dream come true. I am a history buff. I'm surprised Birdie isn't geeking out.
Oh, in that case, let me see. It's true, Feely Boy. True. Yeah, it is Smithsonian looking for people to read cursive. If you can read cursive, they are looking for you.
I can read cursive.
So January 17th is when it came out from it. So I will post it in your in your thing.
Okay.
And then and this is from directly from the Smithsonian. So you guys can then so it says there is no application. You just pick a record that hasn't been done, read the instructions. It's easy to do for a half an hour a day. Yeah, you don't even apply. You just go through their library and pick stuff out, read it, and then, you know, follow the instructions on it and tell them what you've read. That's it. So what they're doing is allowing people to come in and it says, can you read this cursive handwriting? And gives you an example one. The National Archives wants your help. Anyone with an internet connection can volunteer to transcript historical documents and help make the archive's digital catalog more accessible. And then they give you an example, says a Rebel Laureate pension, which I can read most of it. I don't think I'm going to read all of it. Because it says the following is the Declaration of, and I couldn't tell you, James Larson, it looks like, but a soldier, no, Lumburst, a soldier of the Revolutionary War. And then it says the National Archives is beaming with historical documents written in cursive, including some that date back more than 200 years. But these texts are difficult to read and understand, particularly for Americans who have never learned cursive in school.
Oh, I definitely learned cursive in school.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say, because I'm teaching my grandchildren how to write in cursive. I just think it's good dexterity thing. And it says why the national, and so it goes on to explain everything. So I will share this link with you.
Yes, please.
In Discord. Is it a particular place you want me to put it?
Put it in general.
Okay.
If it'll let you. If not,
Should let me.
on.
It's a long link, so there you go. There you be. If I hear anything else like those kind of things, I'll be sure to share.
Oh, please do, because I'm always
I get lots of stuff. Somebody's always sending me something. Here, did you know about this? You can do this from your armchair. You can do this. I guess I don't do enough in my life. They are fearful I'm getting bored. We're gonna have to find us a fast travel and get back to it.
Encrusted worm.
Yeah. That just sounds yummy, don't it?
No, it's ending. No. Oh, caught 4 fish. Okay, I didn't have to cast rare fish.
You didn't have to catch real fish.
I didn't have to cast rare fish.
Oh,
I just had to cast 4.
You just had to do, yeah. That was like, how'd you do that, Ashanda, that you didn't catch fish? I'm really intrigued. I just heard it.
Don't you
really
know
wrong.
I'm special.
You are special, so that makes sense.
I am. I'm special in the head.
Well, we all are. We are special. All my friends are special,
Actually,
whether it's in their head or otherwise.
I do like fishing in No Man's Sky. It's
I like
easy,
fishing in No Man's Sky.
Oh, I like fishing in general. But
Yep. I fish a lot in all my games, so most of them are pretty fun. The only one I have to say is Blacktail's a little tricky, but other than that, it's not overly complicated, so it's pretty easy to figure it out, which is bothersome, I guess, because it is so easy. Okay, so let's see what else
it
we
was
can
funny. We were, I had Fighter with me. We were playing in the living room because trying to play multiplayer in Cult of the Lamb, it's so much easier in local.
Yeah.
So we were playing Cult of the Lamb in local in the living room, and the fishing in Cult of the Lamb is simple, but it's, well, a little annoying to say the least. And I'm sitting here, I'm doing it like, you know, normal. And he's like, how are you doing that? I said, it's easy. And he's like, what do you mean it's easy? I said, that.
I was trying to think of what's the hardest game I played in fishing in. Minecraft can be a bit tricky sometimes. But I would think some of those fishing games
I can't
are,
think of
you
the
know,
hardest.
like World of Fishing. Have you played those, World of Fishing? It's kind of like the hunting game. You've seen that one, right? The hunting game. Hunter or something. It has like 3 or 4 different types of hunting in it. Well, World of Fishing is kind of like that. So you have to save money to go to the different places to fish. And then you have certain fish that you have to try to get to, you know, it's a big competition. It's like a fishing competition. So I like the fishing part of it. That's fun. It's pretty realistic, but I do not like the whole have to save my money to go to. It's like the motocross one I bought. I bought this motocross one, and it's kind of the same thing. That you have to, you know, save your money. You go do a race, save your money, and then go to the next race. You go fishing, catch a couple. You have to catch a specific kind of fish, and once you catch those specific kind of fish, then you make money. If you know you're a sportsman now, and then you have to go to the other. It's like a weird loop because you have to keep going to fishing exhibits and stuff, and do really good in them, and then you get more fishy stuff.
Where is my base?
To open up and get more, you know, better. How can I think of it? Better equipment, better bait, that kind of stuff.
That tornado took me far from home, literally.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. Let's go this way. Let's just go this way. We're just exploring in the dark. Exploring in the dark. That's it. Just exploring in the dark. Watching everybody sleep in the world below.
I mean, I set up a base like I was supposed to. I was going to start building it so that I could get the credit for it.
Uh-huh. And then?
And then I got hit with a tornado.
And it took you far, far away from your home. And your base isn't enough that you'd be able to teleport back to it if you went into space, right?
You know what? I didn't even.
Oh, because if you don't have that base
as long as you
uploaded,
as long as you have it set down and claim the site, you can go back to it. And I just found it.
Okay.
Oh no, you are not catching me in another tornado.
Because that's what happened to me. I got flung halfway across the freaking thing, so I just went up to either the anomaly or a space station and jumped back to my base.
And as soon as I get credit for it, I'm tearing it down.
Not leaving it behind to come back and hang out with?
No, because that leaves room for other people.
Oh, that's true. I just go and visit my bases afterwards.
I love fishing in real life. We usually, when we go fishing, we have,
Sure.
we use shrimp.
Okay. I like fishing in real life too. I haven't been fishing in a while. I bought some fishing poles. Was going to go last year and didn't make it. I'm hoping maybe I'll make it this year. I don't know. Could have to buy a license, you know.
You know, you came to fish and, well, you're not a resident, I don't know. If you're a resident in Florida and you're above a certain age, you don't need a license.
Oh. What age is it?
I think it's...
That would be great. Here it's a lot older.
Yeah, Florida's pretty lenient on their fishing. Heck, I can order mine online.
Well, I can order mine online too. I have to buy. I was buying for my daughter, my grandson, and then Roger. Me and Roger were gonna take them fishing. I haven't got there yet because I got so many other things on my plate. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I don't know how I can get all this stuff done before the end of the day. Good time before the end of the day. Because I'm still in the middle of sorting damn comic books. Because I don't have enough room to pull them all out at one time. So I end up having to try to take some out, and I forget which ones go where, so then I have to go back through them continuously because my brain is all squishy. I got a squishy brain, Ashenda.
Most people do.
Yeah, but even more squishy than normal. It's horrible.
Mine
It doesn't
is
want
more
to
squishy
think.
than normal too.
I know yours is probably more squishy than mine. Not to be mean, it just...
Depends on day.
Cognitive fog is like a thing. I keep telling people. It's like a thing. Of all the things that fibromyalgia gives you, cognitive fog is like one of the worst.
Yes.
I hate waking up feeling that weird fogginess you get. What's the word? It's not bizarre.
Yay, it finally let me go.
The tornado?
Yes.
Can you call a ship to you?
Ah. But I got my base that's not too far away. It was just like, every time I'd start to go down, 5-year hunting license, $130. Oh, that's a hunting fishing combo. Bass Masters fishing? Nah, I just go saltwater. We just do saltwater fishing here.
Because you're close to the ocean, right?
Nope. Well, we're close to the Gulf. We fish in the Gulf.
You don't go down the East Coast and go to the Atlantic fishing?
No.
No.
The best fishing come in the Gulf.
No. Well, I don't know. I haven't fished at either one of them, so.
Best fishing is in the Gulf. You can get some rainbow trout. You can get some shark. Ooh, the shark there is divine.
Because Walt would be really excited by that.
You fish the rivers and the lakes. Saltwater fishing is so much fun. The fight of a mako shark is the best.
I'm telling you, because Walt, you'd enjoy it. Saltwater fishing, it'd be fun. You need to go to Florida. So you could do some Pacific fishing here and do like get salmon and tuna.
I don't know anything about
shark. Pacific Ocean fishing?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Pacific Ocean. I don't really know much about Atlantic Ocean fishing. I think I've only done it once or twice.
You could also do river fishing at the base where it comes in, there's a name of that. It was there in my head and it disappeared. But you know, at the mouth of the river, but there's an actual name for it where it mixes the fresh water in with the salt water,
Brackish.
and you'll get both of the fish, both the
Brackish.
fresh water and then the. No, they have a geography name for it.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta
but
learn all those terms again because we
always-
have to teach geography.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
you
gotta do geography soon.
Well, we've always here. It's just called brackish.
Interesting. Yeah, what did they call that? Now my brain's gonna go. What is that called?
And we call it brackish because it's got a tannin color to it, and because it looks like tea.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, the Swanee River actually is brackish. Let me tell you, the Swanee is pretty. Yeah, brackish.
There it is. Estuary. Estuary. Estuary.
Correct.
It was floating around in my head. So estuary is the coastal body of water where fresh water from the river mixes with salt water from the ocean, creating a brackish water environment.
See?
So,
Brackish.
yeah. But when you're teaching kids, you
Yeah.
have to use both terms. You have to use brackish, and you have to brackish is how they describe the water, and the estuary is the actual geography
Term, yeah.
area. Well, it's just no, brackish is the correct term for what the water is, because that, like you said, it has a color to it and it has a certain thing and everything. So it says brackish water, the unique water mixture in an estuary. So water, that's the description of the water in it, but the actual name for it you have to use for the geography term when teaching children geography. And they will eventually just call it brackish water anyway, and everybody will know what they're talking about. Because we have terms for things, but then the terms of those things are also have their own geography names. Which is the same thing in science I am learning when we teach science. Or like I'm teaching math. So math has this whole vocabulary that I've been sneakily leaving out because it overcomplicates when you're teaching children who have problems with math. You can always add it later on so that they understand. But I have to now, because they're having problems with understanding when they read some of the worksheets I have. The worksheets will be borrowed from other sites, and they'll be all like, oh, what is this? Well, you've been doing it. I just didn't give you the name for it. Yeah, but I will, I promise. Like distributive property. It took me a moment to remember what that was.
Sorry,
I never wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher at one point.
I never wanted. Well, I mean, I wanted to have a classroom, but I didn't want to be per se the teacher in the classroom. I wanted to be the behavioralist in the classroom. But I don't mind teaching, and I got credentials for teaching in every state except 2. And that's just because those 2 states have such a high. You have to have such a high number from your credentialing that you do.
I'm
You know, the
curious to
test
know
you
which
take.
ones.
I think one's Maine. Maybe Rhode Island. It's going to be eastern. They're eastern ones. They're not Midwest. Midwest has really low. So I have, like, for my credentials, like a 500. And the highest you can get is like a 600 or 700, I think, or maybe it's lower.
Okay, now
I
I
don't
like
know.
that
Yeah.
because call a cattle with no legs ground beef. Yeah, pretty much.
We just had that. We just talked about that in my classroom.
That's
Where I was so. So what we were talking about was, okay, so you're teaching children about classification, which I'm not teaching them because we haven't hit that part in biology where you really need classification. We're just doing right now astronomy. So we're learning the solar system. They have a project there. Neither of them have actively jumped into yet, in which they have to do the solar system. They have to create the solar system, and they pass it by doing it, so they can do bare minimal on it as long as they have all the right parts. But they get they can earn a 1 hour certificate so they can get out of doing something else. Because both of those boys just want to get through school as fast as possible so they can do what they want to do, as is normal, okay, for most kids, but even more so for them. They take no interest in learning whatsoever, which is intriguing because they'll go on and watch YouTube videos about the same stuff you're teaching them and don't realize that's what they're watching. But so I was trying to teach him about classification, is that where because he's supposed to do creative sentences, and he does very plain sentences. I finally have gotten him to realize that he's doing them, because he used to argue with me. Those are creative. I created them. No, that's not quite what I meant. And I said, yes, you are correct in that you created them. They are creative, but that's not what I meant. So, because he'll do like in his vocabulary, cat, noun. I like cats. I said, but that doesn't tell me that you know what the meaning of the cat is. So I want them to use sentences where they're using the meaning. So he did car, and I said, well, when you look in the dictionary, the children's dictionary, it says automobile. So that's what he wrote. And then he wrote, his sentence was, I want a car. Okay, I said, well, okay, first of all, the sentence doesn't say anything that you understand what the meaning of the definition is, and that's a stupid definition. Now look up automobile. So he went and looked up automobile, which then had a better definition, which was a vehicle with 4 wheels, usually holds more than 2 passengers, and could be called a car.
Oh, well, that's
And
cool.
so then, yeah, so that's the actual definition. But he put automobile down, and I was like, duh, yes.
Oh, yes, please share more, because, well, you and Joe, and I think Jean also shares dad jokes.
So he was all like, yeah, bad jokes are great. Whoop, whoop.
I love dad jokes.
Because Walt's good for good vibes. He's the good vibe man, which makes him sound like a drug dealer, but, hey.
Nah.
Because Walt, the good vibe man. He loves good vibes.
So do I.
Well, because him and I were talking about, for a while, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, I sent candles that were good vibe candles because he wanted some good vibe candles with a good vibe spell. All the good vibes, because, well, we all need them. Some of us tend to get caught up in seriousness. That being me. I have an anxiety disorder that just worries about stuff I probably shouldn't worry about. But yeah, so how I ended up doing it was I said, so look, you have automobile would be the top word, and then human beings can't just, if you say I want an automobile, somebody's going to ask you, what kind of automobile do you want? Because you can't just say I want a car, because it kind of it's a good discussion point. But eventually someone's going to say, well, what kind of car? I said, so human beings by nature like to get down to an object that fits the most classification. So we were doing automobile, which was truck, bus, van, because the definition stated that it carried passengers more than 2. So, and I said, but there are some cars that don't carry more than 2 passengers.
Right.
So are those still automobiles? And so then they had to look at the other classifications to determine whether that car is really a car or something else. And they were like, well, it has to have 4 wheels. I said, yes, it has to have 4 wheels. That's the statement in what an automobile is. I said, but you could argue that point that a motorcycle is an automobile, but under what the definition is for automobile, then a motorcycle is not an automobile. That's how you create creative thinkers.
Yes, absolutely.
Of which they cannot really go on to do anything with it.
Oh, Cuz says I use those candles at work. Thank you, Shard. They work too. I'm still employed.
I think you're just employed because you're a great guy, but all good energy is good energy, right? Good energy is the best energy.
No, rounded timber roof. Shit. I also put it on top of there. It's gonna look stupid, but that's okay.
Good vibe candles are easy to make. All right, we're done here. Let's move on. Do you guys still have food? I don't remember where I'm going.
No, I don't remember where you're going.
You don't? I don't remember where I'm going either. I was just seeing if my critters had food. They do. They have food. I love the mushroom. I got a mushroom, dude. He's so cute. I want one as a creature to live in my house. Look at it. Is it so cute? It's got a cute little butt, a little tail. It just, I mean, they're just darling. They make me giggle. It's my good vibe. Following a mushroom guy around. Look, and he's pink. I got a pink one. And he dances when he works. Look at that. He's not really dancing, but we can pretend. We can pretend he's dancing. What you doing, Ashanda?
I'm building.
Oh, I know how much you love that.
Don't you?
I don't know. You're doing a pretty good job there. I get really irritated. So I get really irritated with the ceilings. Have you seen the ceilings they give you?
Yes.
Stupid. All right, be careful. Those swirling rocks can all of a sudden become a tornado, even in your own base.
I am well aware.
Because I was in my base and they pushed me up into my ceiling. They just have, if you get all the stuff, you get cool stuff to build with, but it's not like some of the other places. All right, so if you're like getting bored with Minecraft, not Minecraft, No Man's Sky and Power World, Furry Ears World is playing Minecraft and he's building over there. And then I always say their name wrong. Acalia Sapphire is doing chess right now in their very cute foxy little outfit. I've been watching this new anime, well, two, Solar Leveling, which I really like, and then I think made by the same people, The King's Avatar, which is not an isekai or whatever they call them. It is just, yes, it's just a, where you watch these guys who play a video game, kind of like how my life is anyway. But it has it's like a little drama and comedy kind of style. It's just, I think it's like a combination of another world video, because you're watching his character as if it's like in the world, and then not like how they're playing it on a keyboard, and then the world that he's in, so like a slice of life style. So it's kind of a cute little show. I'm not really into those slice of life, so because I was never really into soap operas, unless we talk about things like Buffy Vampire Slayer or Angel, or do you remember 90210?
Yes, I remember 90210.
Did you watch it? Were you a watcher of it?
Not really, but then again.
Okay.
You know, it was on at a time that my dad was home.
Uh-huh.
And he was not into those kind of things.
He wasn't overly interested in watching most shows.
No.
Well, your dad also was older than even like. Because how old is your dad now?
He was born in 45, so.
Right, and my mom was born in 42. So you're like Roger. His father was older for the time period.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
So he was being raised by parents who were actually a generation, 2 generation before.
Yeah.
That's my mom was 21 when she had me.
So technically, because the boomer generation started at 46.
What was the generation before the boomers?
Silent.
I don't ever remember the silent. So my mother would be part of the silent.
So was my mom. My mom and dad both. My base sucks.
So since you know them, why were they called the silent?
That I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure I'm pretty sure I read that someplace. Probably could find out. Because we were looking at my grandson asked my son, right? And then my son was all like, I don't know. So we looked it up, right, about what all the different generations were. Like what was his generation compared to my son's, because they're 10 years apart.
Right.
So they were actually literally 2 generations apart, or
Really?
a generation apart.
Oh,
so
yeah, the generation, I believe.
Yeah. So they were asking. One was asking what the other one. Well, what's my generation versus your generation? And I was like, I don't know. Let's look it up. So we looked it up and read them all off, because you have the C generation, and you have the Gen X, and then you have the Boomers, and
Because when I'm
I
at
don't
the end
remember
of
what
Gen
silent
X,
was.
I am a geriatrics millennial. I am what some people who believe in the microgens, a exennial. Because I am literally 1981.
So is Roger.
Yeah.
You two are the same age.
Oh.
Yeah. His birthday is in February, though, so he's already
He's older
a little
than
bit
me.
older than you. Right. Because him and my daughter are a generation apart. Yeah, he's a youngie compared to me. He's a youngie compared to me. Everybody teases me on his Unkempt channel about it all the time.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, okay, guys, it's fine. I get it. Let's see. So let's look up generations.
Phase 4 already done.
So, based on my little AI guy here, though I could look at it in the generation names across from sources. So the silent generation is thus called that because is named for their parenting philosophy of seen and not heard.
Well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense as to my dad's philosophy.
Yes, and my mom's, and then Roger's as well, because Roger's dad is from that time period. And then the baby boomers, of course, were born from 1946 to 1965, in which I slightly missed that one because I was not born in 1964. I was born in 1965. So from 1965 to 1980 is Generation X.
Yep.
And then 1981 to 1995 is the millennials.
Millennials or Gen Y, if anybody really wants to know.
Yeah.
Why there's Gen X and then Gen Z.
Yeah. So my daughter falls in there too. And then, so Gen Z is from 1996 to 2010, which is where my son is. And Generation Alpha, which is 2011 to 2025, is where my grandson is. So in this house, we have the Generation X, we have the Millennials, we have Generation Z and Generation Alpha. We don't, nobody in the family is baby boomers, and my mother is the silent generation. But that's because she had me when I was younger. What?
If you go up when your fucking parents were born, both my parents were from the fucking silent generation.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, because Ashenda's father also is from the silent generation.
Yeah, both my parents are.
She was like,
so, yeah.
Her parents were older like yours were.
No.
Because you and Ashenda are born in the same year.
My dad turned 53 weeks after I was born.
53 weeks. 53
weeks after I was born.
Yeah. How old was your father when you were born, Ashenda?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't done the math.
I don't want to know. Leave me alone. Yeah, my mom was 21. My father was 21. They were young, considered young to have children in that time period. So Gen X is this. It says this generation was really intended to be a nickname for the baby boomers, because the baby boomers is when they actually came out with a name for generations, because they needed to explain in parenting, kind of it's used mostly for when you're talking about cultural stuff and how you raise children, how you view the world. So a sociologist needed to have a way to differentiate between the events that were occurring in our timeline, in our historical timeline, versus and in correlation with people being born. So like you have your generation is influenced by technology, economic volatility, and global connectivity, which is different than the others. And then Gen Z is that flip over, because they're at the turn of the century.
Well, they were born,
and they were the first
after.
generation.
They were born
Right.
after the turn of the century.
Not Gen Z. Gen Z is 1996 to 2010. So there's some that are kind of right before it and right after. And they were the generation that uses the internet the most. Like they were brought up using the internet, whereas the ones before kind of came in it. That's what my daughter always says, because she has to explain to my grandson, I didn't always have the internet.
Right.
And he's like, what? I knew Izzy mom didn't, because she's old. And then Generation Alpha, this generation is named to indicate that they are not a return to the past. And then the new one is this generation is using the geek alphabet. Yeah. So now they're starting so that they can go back and start with alpha, beta, and then I guess the next one will be gamma.
I guess. I don't know.
But I know that the talking point of this is that the terms were created just so that sociologists and archaeologists, when studying culture in the 19th and 20th century, 20th and 21st century, have a way of talking about cultural events that have occurred.
That's cool. I never knew that.
Yeah. See your thinking. But yeah, because that was one of the things they talked about in one of my classes I have when they talk about ethics, because one of the things you're required to understand is the difference between generations when talking about ethics of psychology to clients. Because whereas you will have people that come in and cannot talk about certain things because they were taught not to talk about certain things.
Yep. I hear you on that. Different regions matter for that too.
Yep. Or also at that, the one thing that I remember I had a teacher that used to say, put on your big girl pants, which is oh, that's interesting.
Work.
Yeah. I have one, some out there. Another statement would also be cool. Is that concept of pull up your pants and put your boots on? That's another one I've heard. Because only the big boys do those things.
Put on your big
And
girl
that's-
panties and pull up
And
your
that's
boots.
about, yep, so that you're not supposed to be whining about it. So certain generations, that's a big deal for them. Even when you're trying to tell them it's okay to talk about these things, and they're going, no. Nope, it is not okay. Because they were raised that it wasn't okay. Either because it wasn't okay or nobody wants to hear it. That's the two statements you'd hear. So that was always my mom's thing. So, well, nobody wants to hear about my problems.
Pretty much.
I'm like, well, how do you know? You haven't talked to anybody about them.
My mom, it was my way or the highway.
Yeah, most of my parents tried to have that conversation with me.
Oh no,
I just
that was the conversation. It's my way or the highway, and I wasn't all for that.
I was going to just say that I was not a pleasant child to raise.
I was an angry child.
I got my ass beat a lot.
Well, there you go. You too.
No, I only actually got my ass beat once.
I know his father was all about that.
Nope, my dad said one time. He said, "Don't make me spank you. Don't lie to me." That's all I ever asked. Don't lie to me.
That's me. That's my major thing. Don't
I
lie
only
to me.
had to learn that lesson once.
My dad did raise me to be one tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, and he taught you other things too.
Yeah.
He taught you some good stuff and bad stuff. That's how parents are.
Yeah.
Because we have one or two generations between us, the things that occurred for our parents are not necessarily the things that occurred for us.
Yep.
So they could only try the best they could do and try and explain what the world was like. And it's very hard, even now, when you talk about it. Like, if you have, my mother cannot talk to my grandson or even my son very much because of the fact that the internet is a major thing for both of them, and she's not ever on the internet. It's very rare for her to get on the internet, and she wouldn't have any clue if you talked about anything about on the internet. She wouldn't have any clue what you were talking about. Ooh, that's not a good thing. What? That's a new person. The dire wolf level 25. I haven't seen that one. Woo-wee. He's all flaming pretty. Yeah, it's a new boss, I think. Because it's a biggie. It's a boss, like a big dire wolf with two sets of eyeballs. Interesting. So it's always interesting when my children will say things to me, and I'll be like, yeah, I remember that. I remember my parents not having a conversation about things.
Ooh, look at that multi-tool.
Because we do sex education as well. So, and whenever that's being taught, everybody has something to say about it in my house.
That's a cool looking multi-tool.
How did the barber win the race there, Cuzwell?
Yeah, how? Tell me. Now I gotta know, how did the barber win the race? He knew
Took a
shortcut.
shortcut? She likes that one.
I'm gonna have to tell my dad that one. I'm gonna have to remember that.
That's a level 18 Nightwing too. Go away, I don't want to play with you. I could probably kill you, I just don't want to. I'm doing something else.
I wanted to add it to my collection. I didn't say I wanted to use it now.
Highway.
Landborn.
We are done here, we need to go this way.
I did not say I wanted to use that right now. I do not have any of the stuff that I need on there.
What stuff do you need?
All the stuff that's on my current multi-tool.
Are we sure? Are you
Yes.
sure that's the case?
I am sure that's the case.
Pretty sure they want you to be able to use it. Come on.
Too bad.
Come on. I know. They did
All
the
I
same
need.
thing with me.
Oh my god.
I had tons of stuff.
I am almost where I am done, guys.
Almost done.
I am almost
What do you have
done.
left?
All
What do
I
you
have
have
left. All I have left to do is collect ancient phones.
Uh-huh.
Then find the last. What am I trying to think of?
Rendezvous point.
Rendezvous point and take a picture. That
Cool.
is it.
You'll be excited.
Oh, I am very excited because guess who's gonna be using her new ship?
All of us are. Monday, I'm doing No Man's Sky on my Space Monday, and I'm doing some base building on those different places that I have that I got from. Because I left my bases so I could go back to those planets that I liked. So I wanted to go visit those bases in my creative and finish my run that I'm doing.
Sentinel ship base. I have my
So let's
Sentinel
go
ship.
that way.
I am using my Sentinel ship. I don't want a Sentinel ship. I want my living ship.
I want a Sentinel ship. I don't have a Sentinel ship.
I'm using my Sentinel ship.
Yeah, how did you get a Sentinel ship?
I brought it over from my main save.
No, which was it? An expedition that you got it from? Yeah.
Nope,
It's
I
an
got
expedition.
it from.
Oh, you bought it.
I rescued it.
Oh. Is it a mission then that's part of the story mode?
No. It's just kill enough. Blah, blah, blah. Well, there.
I was just curious how I get one. Oh, okay. Cuzwalt's telling me how you get one.
You can
Okay.
either do the autophage quest, or after the autophage quest, you can kill enough sentinels, and they'll give you directions to one.
Yeah.
Or you can get a map, and one of them could lead you to one. There are several ways, but yeah, the autophage quest will lead you to one. But I got mine from killing sentinels.
Cool. Well, that's what I'm doing next, is that quest.
You know, if you take your creative save, and once you get... That was not the one I want. Take your creative save once you've done all the quests you want.
Uh-huh.
And turn it into, say, a relax save or whatnot.
That's what you said. I was going to look into that and see how that worked out. Because you told me that you could do a relax save, and I was like, is there a way to walk that over there like that?
Uh-huh. Because I switched my saves to... I've switched my saves to creative before.
Well, we'll see, because that would be great, because then I could just use that as my regular.
It wouldn't be the first time I've done it. Ah, this is a planet.
Righty. Okay, so we go.
So yeah, you can do all the quests, without trouble, and then...
That'd be cool. I'll have to ask you about that when I get ready.
Okie dokie.
When I get done. And you can walk me through how to do that. Because the older I get, the less likely I'm going to be spending a whole lot of time in doing any sentinel or anything like that. And the creative I like because as I am not one of these like Barb's Blazes or Alcoholic or anything, or even Cuzwalt, these fabulous base builders, I do like to build the base, and I'd like to just spend time in some of like the music boxes. I would love to play around with it. I have never played around with them because you're constantly trying to do other stuff that by the time you get around to having just some free time, it's like, I don't want to play this. I'm gonna go play something else. Because that's how I am in Minecraft. I'll just pick up Minecraft periodically because I want to just, build. That's all I want to do is just sit and build. Ark is another one I missed the building on that one. Conan too.
Actually, that's why I like Enshrouded more. Is I can build a little around Enshrouded than I can
Anywhere else?
on Conan. For some reason, I don't know why.
Conan has easier snap points than say like No Man's Sky, but some of its building too is a little
Roofing.
annoying.
Roofing. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was the same thing in Ark, though. I mean, Ark, it was you could switch to God mode, which would be what like glitch building is in No Man's Sky. You could switch to God build and make things work and walk on air so that you could get, some of those more difficult positions.
You can do that in Conan now too. You don't have to be in admin mode.
Oh, you can just build like that. That's cool.
Yeah, they gave everybody. Well, I've given everybody access in Conan. The
That we have to
go
play that too.
Mode. I know. I haven't. I've been in Enshrouded lately.
I haven't played Enshrouded. I didn't look at it as I've got a list of games I have to play though. So
Enshrouded is. Think of a survival light game. It's kind of like No Man's Sky, where you don't have to eat or drink, unlike Conan. But it's got better crafting, in my opinion. But it's got a survival element that's different in the fact of.
I was watching somebody play it. Who's watching play that? I think Camp plays it.
What?
Enshrouded?
Yeah.
He hasn't played it recently.
No, he hasn't played it recently, but he has played it.
Yeah. And then another one is V Rising. Somebody asked me if I play V Rising, and I said, no, Ashenda does, though.
I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, I do play V Rising.
I said, so if you need to look for somebody that's playing it, Shenda plays it.
I haven't played it in a good while, though. If someone wants me to play it, let me know, and I'll boost up a stream with it.
Miss Sapphire here, or Mrs. Sapphire, or them, Akalia.
Foxy.
That's what they were playing today.
Yeah. Storm clear. Now maybe I can find something.
Well, I figured I'd get all my map done on Power World, and then the next time I played it, I could just play doing the stuff I have to do for the story. Do I want to finish it or just hang out doing what I do?
Apparently someone has picked this area clean.
That happens. So let's go with it.
That's what I hate about Expedition. Wait, too.
Well, that's true. It's a shiny egg. It's shining at me. You want to hear some sad news? I don't know if you played it or not. Did you ever play Little Big Planet? Is that
Yeah.
something you played? Well, they have delisted it from the PlayStation Store now.
I
all
heard
of them.
about that. Yeah.
So, Little Big Planet,
Oh, yeah.
1 through 3. Oh, it's sad. I was like, oh.
And I heard why, and I thought it was absolutely horrible. Why?
Oh, I didn't hear the why of it. What was the why of it?
Because some people were abusing the system.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing of human beings. Some people will abuse it. Because one of my favorite creators for Little Big Planet is Little Big Planet channel. And he still makes fun, happy little. Sometimes he plays some really cringy stuff, but for the most part, he does little skits still in his own little worlds that he builds. So, and I'm pretty sure you could probably still play it.
Oh yeah, you can still play it
You
if
just
you own
can't
it. You just
get
can't buy it
anything.
anymore.
Yeah, and you can't get any stuff, so which kind of sucks again. Like y'all keep saying.
But yeah, it was being abused really badly, so they took it offline.
I can see that. People abuse, especially stuff that's old. People will abuse it. But so that was the little guy in there, Stick Baby.
Mm-hmm.
The Stick Baby, is that what it's called?
Stackboy.
He was called something else. What was it called?
Stackboy.
Stackboy, yeah. Because Stick Baby was a character I created in honor of Sackboy. Because my grandson loved Sackboy. He loved him so much, he had a little stuffy and stuff of him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a little puppet called Stick Baby. And Stick Baby would get into all these adventures with all his Star Wars toys and stuff like that. So, and at one point in time, we were going to make videos of it, but he just never could get himself. Couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. Because it wasn't really something I was going to do, it was something he was going to do. Puppetry I like to do, but I wanted to do little stick puppets, but he didn't want to do stick puppets, he wanted to do something else. So I was like, well, I'm waiting on you. Okay, we need let's go. So we're full, I think. Let's go. Well, I could probably move some stuff. Unless I just didn't move some other stuff. I don't need that schematic. I don't need it, but it's kind of sad because that's like you talk about a generational thing. Woo! There that goes for those of us who can remember playing. I just recently was playing all the Little Big Planets, but none of them are like one. So even when you play them, because they have that racing one, you can play as Sackboy. That's cute, but still not the same thing.
No, it's not.
Such a cute little game.
Okay, we're waiting until this firestorm goes away.
Where is that? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I was so sad.
You have a
when I
firestorm?
heard... Huh?
You have a firestorm for Ashenda?
Yeah, I have a firestorm.
It's in honor of you. See?
It is.
But you were saying you were so sad, what?
I was so sad when I heard that they took it down.
Well, I know they also, too, no longer updates for their programming one they did. I have it for my PlayStation 4. Why can't I think of it? Can't I think the name of that? Where you can go in and make your own games and stuff?
Oh, Dreams?
What's that?
Dreams?
Was that what it was?
I know that
What
it
was
was, I remember the hype they had bringing it out, but I haven't heard much of it since.
Oh, I have it. It came out, and people made games on it. I had some the people that used to play No Man's Sky with me. They went to that and started playing on it. They have a Twitch account too. Media Molecule.
I remember Media Molecule.
It's the name of the studio. So, no, the name of the game. I'm trying to talk to myself here. I'm talking out loud, sorry.
No, but I remember the name rings a bell.
It's fun though, because you can actually. It is Dreams, you're right. I couldn't remember what it was called, and you said Dreams, and it sounded like, but then there was another one. But Dreams, you can go in and literally create your own games.
Yeah.
And play other people's games they created. And a couple of the people that used to hang out with Cobra from the Netherlands, they got together and made quite a few games on there. And they got to go to some conventions and do all kinds of stuff just doing through Dreams, and had a really great time with it. And I was just so excited by it, but then for whatever reason, my brain could not use the system as well as I was hoping for. So I just never got into it beyond making my own little base kind of thing and go visiting other people's games. But I mean, they were like basic little mobile indie games.
I
So
just
that kind of
never.
fun. But the controllers, so they had special controllers that came out with it that I didn't buy. And so a regular controller was a little more problematic using. It wasn't like you couldn't use a regular controller. It just wasn't as intuitive. So it got harder to do some of the stuff. Hang on, Caswell. What's the name of that Warhammer that you were looking at that I haven't looked at yet? Caswell wants to know.
Rogue Trader. It's not that fun.
Rogue Trader, but Roger says that it's not that fun, so probably.
It's not the type of game that you and I would have fun playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Is it a kind of game you and I would end up yelling at each other about?
No,
there's a lot of games fighter there like that.
Oh. Well,
because it's more of a Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh.
Where you have to play your piece on the board type bullshit.
Oh, okay.
And you're the fucking piece.
So it would be good. It'd be a fun game if you like tactics.
Yeah.
And just by yourself played it.
Yeah. But okay. I can't even stand it.
Okay. So Roger doesn't like it. I haven't looked at it yet. I might look at it just to say for yay, nay, for sure. But yeah, he says that he doesn't. It's a tactics game, and he's not very interested. Now, I was going to look at as well. I have a ton of PC games that I got when I bought one of the other PC Warhammer ones. I think I'm going to try to get it. We're going to look at Vermintide, because Vermintide is more of a fantasy base. So I'm trying to see if he wants to look at Vermintide down the road. 2. I haven't played 1. I know there's 2 of them. Vermintide I have played, so I know the basics to it. So we could see if he wanted to play that.
I have the first Vermintide.
Yeah, I haven't played the first one. I've only played I've only played 2.
We both have access to Bolt Gun.
I know, I saw that. I don't know what that looks like
I don't
either.
know either, so I think I'm going to download that one and see what it does.
So he's going to look at Bolt Gun. I want him to look at Vermintide. We can even play it. We can look at 1. I don't know if it's...
I have access
3
to
or not.
1. I would have to buy the second.
Yeah, it was on Game Pass a while back, but... There are a lot of Warhammer games.
Yes, there are.
Some are not very good.
Yes, that is true.
Some of them are not really worth the time or the effort. Like I said, I have like 5 of them on my PC, in my library, And for Steam, that I haven't even looked at, that we could look at.
100% sure you own Vermintide 2.
I know I don't own Vermintide 2. I just said I played it.
Okay.
It used to be on the Game Pass for free.
Oh, okay.
But I could look at one, and if one is free for me.
I already have the first one. I don't know about you. We could figure it out. It's not too expensive. Most of the shit isn't too fucking expensive.
No, but 2 I played. And my only problem with 2 is it is a fantasy-based style. And it's a lot like the gameplay is a lot like the one we were playing Dark Tide. That kind of warlike style. But you are on you're on a planet, but it feels like an older style planet. It's very fantasy based. Very fantasy based.
Warhammer Old World.
Yeah. It's
okay, it's Old World or it's Warhammer Fantasy. Because those two are technically different, but they're the same at the same time.
Yeah, but I played Vermintide. It's alright. It's definitely a game you need at least one other person to play with you. Because you will be overwhelmed.
Well,
quickly.
I'm downloading Bolt Gun right now. I'll let you know a bit.
Well, watch a video on Vermintide 2. See what you think. And get back to me on that. Love you. And I'll look at Vermintide 1 and see if it's something I can play. And then see if I have it free on my game on it. I don't know that I do. Well, I could look here. Warhammer hype. And you're probably the only person that watches this that loves the Warhammer there. But Shanda, are you still there?
Nope, I ran away.
Okay. I was like,
You guys were talking.
it got
and I
really,
just
really quiet.
Well, you guys were talking, so.
Just interrupt. It's fine. We weren't talking about something that was important to you, so you could just say, I'm gonna step out.
Okay, so where is this stupid thing?
Stupid thing.
Yeah, it says there's a burial here, but I don't see it.
So when I was playing that, there was a lot of glitches on that where you're standing right on top of it and they're not there. So just be aware of that. Or you get one. That's all you get, which is weird because usually in burials you get more than one. But
I usually only get one on a burial.
Really? Not me. I get 3 or 4. Not during expeditions, though. In expeditions, they tend to only allow you to pick up 1 or 2.
Incoming storm.
Oh, okay. Inventory is full again.
Oh, welcome to my world.
So much shit. I don't need that. Well, isn't that the problem with all of us that have inventory management? We're not very good at the inventory management because we're struggling with the idea that we know we're gonna need it, and they're just trying to take it from us.
Yes.
As we all deal with that, because I mean, I'm not the only one who deals with it. A lot of people do. Richard Huntington was telling me about that. Was one of his biggest problems is inventory management, because he just knows he's going to need it, and they keep taking it away from him.
You know who we need to talk to is either Sword or Fighter. No, because Sword is like the king of inventory management. You only have to take a photo and you're done. I still need to find one more bone. That's it, just one more.
One more bone, and then she's to go.
Then I get to go to the next rendezvous point, take a picture, and I'm done.
I think I'm gonna go to that one over there because I have to get it anyway. So we'll just fly over there. Fly, fly, fly. Fly, fly, fly. You look tired, little buddy. I'll come back someday and get you. But no, not right now.
Oh, have y'all taken care of the cheesecake?
My daughter was doing that.
Okay.
So I'm done with the cheesecake because I just helped him make it, and then he was gonna let it cool. And then when I'm done with here, I'm going out and helping him what we're gonna do. So when you make the crust, you have to take the inside out.
Yep.
And I told him what we'll do with the inside is we're gonna layer it on top of the cheesecake when it's cooled, and then we're gonna put melted chocolate on top of that. So you'll still use the inside of the Oreo cookies. And that'll give it a minty. Or my daughter was gonna, she said she might, if she could do it before she went to work, she just might melt them in with the chocolate and then pour it, and that would give it a big melty kind of taste too. I said,
And
whatever.
yes, those creatures are utterly fantastic. They remind me of the ones you showed a picture of.
Which ones are those?
They're out of my sight now.
Oh. Because I got these invisible, like, radioactive, invisible two-leggers as a pet. It was pretty trippy. I want to find a planet like that in my regular games and find one. They're like flora. They're like see-through. You can see through them. Have you seen them? I'll have to see if I can get a picture of them. Pretty trippy.
You ain't lying. I'm almost done. I just gotta find one more bone.
Just,
Those.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of variations of those. There's some that spit slime.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't affect you, but it is they release a slime. It's really trippy. And then there's ones that have spikes. So when they twirl, spikes come out of them.
That's crazy.
What the hell are you? Brick. Wow, that's a new one. He looks like a person. I don't want to go see. Those are the freaking gorillas. Are you sleeping? Because I hope so. I don't want to hit you.
I'm sleeping.
Wait, that wasn't good. Yeah, we screwed that up. Sorry.
Can I say I'm sleeping?
Can you say you're sleeping?
Yeah.
I'm falling. Well, now I'm falling. I'm not sleeping anymore.
I'm flying.
What was the gorillas?
Falling.
I had another one that was not. I don't see it now. Must be over here.
So Drake, what was your favorite part of the expedition?
Cuzwalt too. You can ask him what his favorite was.
Well, yeah, Cuzwalt. Same question.
Cuzwalt got done pretty quick, like a boomstick.
Joe.
Boom, 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 Joe. There.
Okay, how about everybody? What was your favorite part?
I just like exploring the new planets
Well, I do
that
too.
that I didn't see.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Have a good one. Make it up. I don't know if I can make it. Good. Nope. Ha.
I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go.
You have, to get bones. The first planet we were on in the expedition had bones.
Yeah, well.
Or that system. Maybe not the planet, not the gas giant, but maybe the system did. Oh, it is behind me.
The fishing? Yeah,
Fishing
I'll
was-
agree. The fishing is... I think I'd have enjoyed it more if I didn't have to do it on a gas giant.
The underwater exploration was really fun in the new ocean biomes. Those were really fun. I didn't really like the fact that well, after Joe explained to me that I could get out of my sub and not be crushed to death, even though that's what it made it sound like, you were gonna be crushed if you got out. I like those. That was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
You know, I found out the best way to find a water planet is to do this. Go to go to catalog, materials, raw materials exotic, and then go to, where's the lithium? Go here, and you see how it says locate substance? Go to locate substance. It'll send you right to a water planet, since the only place you can find lithium is a water planet.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks. I learned such new stuff from all of you.
I had to look that up if you really want to know the truth.
I still learn stuff from you. I mean, it doesn't matter where you learned it from, as long as you learned it from. I mean, I didn't think that you automatically discovered and figured it out yourself. I mean, sometimes we do, but a lot of times, sometimes we learn new stuff by ourselves.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes I learn new stuff. Yeah. Sometimes I learn new stuff, and then I do it and then realize that it's not that new, right? Like you're saying, and then you go look it up and then find out there's an easier way to do it. And then I'm like, okay. Alrighty.
I was so frustrated. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, I only have 3 of those. Cool. A loop moon. Yeah, 7 of those. So I don't know why you were excited. You have lots of those. Hey.
Now I'm done with this game. At least for now.
You are done with this game? What game?
That's what Drake said. That expo triggered me.
Oh, some expos do trigger you. I tend to walk away for a little bit. Yeah, there are some of those expos. I mean, what was the one that I died the first time with my thing? I said, nope, I'm done with this. I ain't coming back.
See, I couldn't do, and it makes me sad. I couldn't do the curse.
I couldn't do curse either. It affected my head really bad.
It affected mine too. And I'm not photosensitive. I've never had motion sickness, none of it. But that, I just could not do.
Yeah, I'm not photosensitive either, but for whatever reason those wavery, when the lights came out and they were wavery, it was really hard for me to concentrate on what I was doing. So, and then gave me a headache afterwards. I was like, nope, we don't need to play it that badly. I mean, it's just how it is. Sometimes things don't work out. But yeah, because this isn't the first time I've died by tornado. I have died by tornado many times. But the first time was in the fishing one. I had a tornado over the ocean, over the water.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get my stuff. And so I was like, I'm so done with that. And then I was like, all right, I'll just go back. It's just an expedition. I'll just go back and, restart everything. So, and that's what I did this time too, because Walt tried to help me get my grave on this. And I was just like, nope, I'm not going to waste, I wasted like 3 hours trying to get my grave back during that fishing expedition, and then I was like, I'm done. So, but most games do that to me now.
He's laughing, by the way.
Oh yeah, because there's a joke between that
Oh,
from him and me. So, because Walt played the expo before me, right? And
Yeah.
he was giving me hints because I allow people to give me hints to help me out. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do tornado. And he's like, no, the tornado won't kill you. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet, because I died by tornadoes so many times. I was like overly excited. And then guess what?
you died by tornado.
I died by tornado, and he felt so bad. So he was all like, no, 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 I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's just a joke to me because, he was able to get through it. So therefore, because he got through it, he just figured it was that way for everybody. So it's just kind of funny if you think about it, because that's how we are in a lot of things sometimes. It's because if we think, like I say, if I can play the game and not get overly irritated, then a lot of people should be able to play the game and not get overly irritated. But that's not true, because what makes us irritated about things is going to be different for every person.
Actually, I was just gonna ask Drake, what made you that mad? I mean,
Just not finding the.
I've been finding it boring, but not, anger. Not.
Well, I mean, if your frustration level got really high, because I've had that where I was looking for in fact, Boomstick had to help me. So during that fishing one, Boomstick had to help me. That's why I said it would be great to know what you said by looking for lithium. But in the expedition for the fishing, I couldn't find a water world when I was bouncing.
Oh.
And he was all like, hey, this is how you find a water world, because I did something wrong. I can't remember what it was. And so he was telling me how you tell which planets have water world, because I was missing something in the expedition. And I was all like, oh, cool. And so it doesn't work as well for me as I would say as probably always for him, but it was an option that when you go into your discoveries and you look at the planet, it will show you on the picture of the planet if there's water there, more likely. So you're able to go find it. You'll think you'll uninstall it. Well, that's your option. I have never been that mad in a game that I've uninstalled unless I first started. And it's just, I know it's going to cause me problems to play it. For the most part, I just tend to...
I just don't play it for a while if I get that pissed.
I think that's me too. But if I have other games I could play, if I have other games I could play,
if I don't have
then I'll
room
play it
on a game, then maybe I'll uninstall it. But if I've got room, it just sit there until I'm ready to play it again.
But I've noticed there's a lot of people that are like that. Will just uninstall the game. They get so mad they just uninstall it.
Each their own.
See, because he's uninstalled COD.
Well, I can't blame him. That's a.
Rainbow Siege was that for me. I played it a couple times with some friends, and I was like, I'm done with this. And they're like, oh no, we love it when you play with us. I'm like, I can't move forward. Another one too that I enjoy playing, but I'm really bad at is that Call of Duty had a Warzone, I think it was, where they drop in and it was a 3-man like Fortnite. It was fun to play, but I didn't have anybody to play it with, so it was literally frustrating to just keep being dropped in with people I didn't know. So I uninstalled that one.
Oh, that I don't blame you on. CODs, never mind.
But I like Fortnite the same way. I played Fortnite quite a bit, even by myself. And then they changed it so much it was really literally hard to play it all by yourself. So I haven't uninstalled it, but I only bounce in every once in a while to see what's going on and then play it. But since it's free, you could uninstall it and then reinstall it. It wouldn't be a problem, I guess. My only issue is if you buy a game, if I buy a game, like one that gives me problems off and on a specific drive. So I bought that game, so I will finish it because I bought it, But yeah, I've had some difficult problems with that game. The sounds is what drives me nuts.
See, I absolutely love sound.
Oh, I don't know if you'd love that sound. Because this thing's creeping on you to kill you, and you're like, where are they? And then when you turn around, they ain't there no more, and it's just, oh, it drives me nuts.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, fucking cheaters.
What happened?
Oh, this burial site is under the
Uh-huh.
cave ground.
Oh, well, yeah,
We
you probably have to
can't
come
get to
in
them.
someplace.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know
because Wall had a problem on one of his expeditions. I'm sorry, go ahead.
you can't get to them.
Nope. Yep, I hate when it does that. So, cuz Wall and I were playing a game, and he had problems getting it to work, and so he quit for a while on No Man's Sky. And then I had another guy that played VR who played with me, alcoholic, and he had beardwing, and he had a problem, and he said that he had to walk away from it for a little bit. So, I mean, we've all had a point where we kind of have to walk away at some point about it. Because they're just, if the game makes you upset, then yeah, you shouldn't play it. I don't. You've got lots of games to play, Resident, right? So, just play those ones. And then give it a break.
Yeah. Just don't worry about it. I've already. Well, go ahead and give her a shout out. I thought I asked you to give her a shout out before. I don't remember if she ever got one. So, go ahead and do it.
Hey, Resident, thanks. And see, like, yeah, you love those Soul games, but I can't play them. I got quite a few of them, and I can't play any of them. So,
Me too.
Alright, bolt gun was no go.
I try all the time. No?
Bolt gun leaves on the 28th, so there's no point.
Oh, yeah, I won't be back by then.
You leave the day after.
Yep. That's what I meant. I will be gone by then. It came out wrong, huh?
Yeah.
Was it what I was thinking is not what I said? I realized that after you said something. Yeah, after he said something, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? That's not what I said. But it was what I said. And
What
that
you
makes
said,
sense.
but not what you meant to say.
Look. Yep, look at my little mushroom guy. He's so cute. Oh. Yeah, he's licking himself now. Actually, he's not. He's regurgitating water to plant. That's it's still cute. Sometimes I'm a weirdo about weirdo things.
That's alright. I'll forgive you.
Well, that's good.
Someone's gotta.
I think I can sell that. Right? Something. Let's move that over here. Let's move that up there.
I
Let's
just need one bone.
Just one bone.
Just one.
One more. That was me and the nanites, man. And then because it's all like, you can sell that for 400 and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's get that done.
Enough.
Okay.
I got enough just from getting rewards.
Yeah, but I told you that creature. I had to have the creature, so I spent my money when I shouldn't have. I spent the nanites because I had to have an extra slot to put my creature in.
You still should have gotten credit for it, because I spent like almost 4,000 to get my ship and my multi-tool, and I still got credit for it.
Huh? I didn't. It didn't show. It showed me under, so the exact amount under too. So that's why I was like.
That's weird. Yeah, it didn't take it off for me.
You're just well loved. That's all. Remember
Yeah.
that. Just well loved. I could have misread it. But you know me. I could have misread it. Okay, so we're here. Going back here. We'll finish this out, and then the map is pretty much done. And this. Oh, I got this one over here. I have to do. So they have these new things in Power World. Have you visited Power World?
Not recently.
Oh.
I need
I was
to.
going to ask you if you knew about the barge oil rig, but I'm going to guess not.
I do not.
So I won't say anything more about them because you have not been there unless you want to know about them.
You can tell me. It's, you know, that's not
So
like...
it's literally like a tower, but
Okay.
they sit in the middle of the water. I think there's more than one of them. And if they're being built, you will get killed by lasers and can't get there. But if they're not being, after they're finished, you can visit them. But they are just, it's like level 30 rain, syndicate barge of a oil rig. And then you have these other really weird, like, I don't know what you call them. They're like mercenary bosses or something that wander around that you get a bounty on and have to go do. So they just added more things to fight, I guess.
Oh,
Fight.
got
Uh-oh.
it. From
Shenda's
tank.
having some problems.
No, no. Not a problem. I got it.
Oh, yay, you're done.
Now
Shenda's done.
we are calling my ship. And we are leaving this planet.
Thermal protection falling.
Forever.
Forever.
Forever. That planet's getting left behind forever. I'm gonna make the dogs very excited.
You've rage quit the COD many times as well. Yeah, I was never into COD or any of those.
Me neither, not really. I just knew people who played it, so they'd say, come play with me, and I'd be like, oh. The original games, so COD had original games that were like role-playing games, you know, the ones where you go through missions and stuff. Those were fun. You got to go to space, and you got to be in a tank. They were all fun.
I love those emojis as well.
He's the emoji king. Bits and emojis. All right, we're going right along here.
Rendezvous 5. Okie dokie. Bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe. Have a good one.
Yes. I knew a urologist that I knew a urologist that would be funny enough to say that.
Ooh. There's a creature sleeping. No? That's weird. Just a rock. Oh, must be one of those new crystal rocks. Okay. One of the new crystal rocks.
There it be. We are almost done.
Yay. That's how I felt when I played it. So I played it the other day, and that's all I did was the last little stuff, and I was like, yay, I'm almost done. I'm so glad. Oh, there you are.
I don't know if what we're gonna do later. And besides, he's no meat shield.
Who's no meat shield?
Drake asked if we wanted to play, the Shrouded later. He needs his buddy, a meat shield. No, he doesn't. He's not, he's playing, more assassin type.
He's talking about fighter. I had to think about what the frick is he talking about?
Yeah.
I agree. He's not a meat shield.
No. Oh, no. That's only because he's higher in level. That's all. I think
Thinking about saving some money up and getting Boulder's Gate.
it worth every penny.
Well, I would stream it though, so whether it's a good streaming one or not.
It's a long
I-
game to stream.
I stream all kinds of games. Yeah, I just
It
play it when
is.
like I do all my other ones. I mean, I'm still playing Planet Craft during afternoon, but I'm getting closer to afternoon. I take
I
forever to
co-op
win,
too.
but finish games.
Drake, 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 Drake.
Drake. You know, Drake, when somebody starts to say your name more than once, it's time to slow down.
You being a paladin?
Us
Are you
is,
trying to make? Are you trying to make her play an evil game?
you can be a paladin, I don't care.
He can't play a holy paladin.
No, he keeps trying, but it's fine. He can try. I don't care. Don't bother me none.
Okay.
It's always fun to watch people do stupid things.
I
And he
have
just likes to
proven-
corrupt good things.
I have proven I've been a good paladin in a D&D type of game. What game?
I mean, I don't know that Roger would play paladin. I would play a tank and a healer.
He says,
And I could
trying to
be-
remember it.
holier than thou. But I'm playing right now. I'm playing evil with Blacktail. I'm going completely evil.
Oh, you're going the dark path? I'm going the light
I'm
path.
doing it. Yeah, I'm playing the dark path. So absolutely dark path because I can. I feel bad every once in a while. I feed the hedgehogs still. I'm
So
not
are you
supposed to.
doing So are you saving the ants?
Yes,
Oh.
and the larvae.
Well, the larva's fine, but it's the ants. That's why I can't go evil.
Because of the ants.
Because of the ants.
You can't kill them.
I want to kill them.
Oh.
I absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I have destroyed them in bits and pieces, and then I've also not destroyed.
Those
You know what I mean?
ants, those ants get destroyed.
I worship them sometimes, or whatever you have to do. Like you're nice to them.
So I always tell her, nope, no deal. Have faith, I can be good in D&D. He can't remember the game, but he thinks he thinks he can be good.
I think Roger's played good characters, so if Roger can do it, I'm sure Resident Drake can do it.
But
Have you played good characters in D&D? Like been a good guy? Yeah.
but Bugbear
Yeah.
was a good guy.
Okay. See? Well,
Oh, no.
because Resident Drake apparently has a bad habit of playing a paladin, but then ends up evil. Because he can't make good choices to be a good person. Because it's like he talks about wants to be a heretic. He just can't make the right choices to stay holy.
No.
He's like a fallen angel.
No, I can't say much about Fable 2. The only reason I was only ever holy is because I paid the church off.
Yeah. Well, just embrace your nature, Resident Drake. Have fun. Roger was saying the only reason he was ever holy in Fable was because he paid the church off.
He's like, but it's
But-
so hard. I like being evil.
Then just admit to being evil and let it go. I don't know what the problem here is.
It is so much more fun playing evil than it is playing good.
Well, that
Actually-
depends on the game. I mean, some games playing good will give you better rewards than playing evil.
I find playing chaotic
Yeah.
is more fun.
Long-term
playing
benefits
both.
versus short-term benefits, huh? I didn't know we were playing Bioshock 2.
See, I play. When we play. Generally, most of our characters are
I mean,
chaotic.
hell,
Chaotic
Till to
good.
this day, I still cannot get the one freaking achievement for saving every single little sister in Bioshock 2.
Oh, yeah, I can't either.
Because I
tried
always
really hard.
sacrificed the first little sister to get more atoms so I could buy the shit I needed to get into the game.
I just couldn't find them all.
Oh, I've always found them all.
Yeah. Only the ones that are needed for the game have I found. I'm sorry, Shenda, what were you saying?
I can't
Because he
summon
can't
my
hear
raid.
you, so he doesn't know when you're talking. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
AC games. You were saying about we were talking about playing evil.
Oh,
And you said
when
you
we-
play chaotic good.
Yeah, we play chaotic good in our games, and I've got a paladin that is a chaotic good, and she recently got this uber legendary sword, and the sword was supposed to change her personality completely. And so, like the DMI and I are supposed to do, there is a random chart that you're supposed to use to find out what it's supposed,
Mm-hmm.
So we rolled it. Her personality was the exact change. It was the exact same. It was also supposed to change her alignment. And I said, well, her personality. Okie dokie. Her personality is the same, so why should I have to change her alignment? And Fighter's like, hold on.
Hello, Moonslayer.
So Fighter's like, so I guess, so can I make a charisma check? And see if she can argue with the sword. Say, you chose me. We can work together, but you chose me.
Yeah.
And he
Nice
said,
thing
sure. We can run with that. And I rolled a nat 20.
that. Yeah.
So not only
Nice
did her
one.
personality not change,
Yeah.
but neither did her alignment.
That's cool.
What do you mean, dorky?
Who's
But-
dorky?
Oh, Drake's saying I'm dorky.
Oh, well.
But
It
this
takes one to know one.
right. But here's the thing, Drake. Okay, she skirts on her paladin oath a lot. She's what you call a retribution paladin. Okay.
And so I have this issue though with Drake. He keeps saying he wants to be this holy great. Why doesn't he just get a god that's evil, then he can play an evil paladin?
Right.
One of my characters I played in Pathfinders was a witch hunter who was a vicious bitch whose goddess was hell.
Right.
So you just play evil that way. I don't get this whole, why are you trying to be like, why have a god that's, holy,
Well,
when you know that's not how you're going to be able to play.
D&D goes by oaths these days, and my paladin is well, you can play either way, but you use oaths anymore. And
Yeah,
she is
it's the same.
she is a paladin, a retribution paladin. And so she, during one of their adventures, went and there was, if you've ever done there's an adventure where at the very end you're supposed to either sacrifice one of your party members or there is an NPC that will take the sacrifice for you. My pally didn't like either one of these options and had the bright idea of the antagonist, pushing him in instead. Well, the way she saw it, okay, there was no way of him being redeemed. He was beyond redemption. So she just walked up, he had his back to the portal, boom, pushed him right in.
Seems like a good answer.
Her deity didn't, she didn't
Fair.
break her oath.
Yeah.
She's chaotic good.
You just, I think you if you're looking to play characters that reflect yourself psychologically, and you feel bad because you're evil, then make better choices. Hey, Moon Slayer, you haven't played this yet? It's pretty fun. I'm just doing exploration. I'm not really good at the whole capturing and fighting and stuff like that, but I do like the exploration in this game, and I like the ability that you can do breeding if you want. And the building is fun.
And what are you shaming me for?
Shame.
He shamed me.
Why?
That's what I want to know.
He doesn't like the idea that you kick the thing in, and that was the way we went with it.
Did I kick the guy in?
That's a quill. Okay. Don't know what that was.
Oh, that's a mission critical item? I didn't think so.
I'm sure he I'm sure he deserved it.
He did. Just because
I'm sure he deserved it.
Oh, he did. And
Yeah.
the only reason I'm not going into more specifics is in case anybody either knows said
Game.
D&D mission that or adventure that I'm talking about, or wants to play said D&D adventure that I am talking about.
No, I get it.
But yeah, that was not exactly the route one should actually take.
Well, you just need to know your character really well, and you have to know yourself as to what kind of characters. Because Roger was saying he played a good guy, and some of his characters I would say are pretty neutral. Even if he started out like chaotic something, I think he probably runs a lot more neutral, or extremely evil.
I think,
Because like he said, it's more fun to play as an evil person in these kind of games, because you're not getting too much negativity like you would in real life for being a rotten person.
see, we have more fun playing good people, decent people, anyway.
Well, some people do, and then some people I like kind of a, I don't know, probably I lean more towards evil. I'm more like the anti-hero. I would do good things for other people or myself for selfish reasons, right? But I don't necessarily always play good.
Well,
So it doesn't, for me, it doesn't have the same ramifications as you get in real life.
what do you mean that's evil? According to her ethos, he was irredeemable, and he was hurting millions upon millions of people.
I think the argument you have to, when we're talking about that, let's talk about in real life. The argument would be is it all right to steal from someplace to take care of somebody who is sick or poor? Now, if stealing is just against the law or against moral code, no matter what, then yes. No matter what you're doing it for, it's a bad thing. So if you kill somebody to protect other people, it's technically still a bad thing. And you will have to pay with whatever soul your entity, your deity will say. But you did it for a good reason, so it should balance out in the scales of things. Because that's the problem with people in morality.
Well, in D&D, it's already an accepted fact. A paladin is gonna have to kill. So.
Oh yeah, there wouldn't be any reason to be a paladin, and you wouldn't carry a weapon.
Exactly. So I mean,
Because even if you weren't just, if the argument was that you have a weapon just to protect yourself, in protecting yourself, you may possibly accidentally kill somebody. And then at that point, the question becomes is whose life worth more, yours or the other person? But if you are charged on taking care of other people, then technically their life is not worth as much as yours because you already have a morality job that your entity has given you.
Exactly.
In just in D&D or in most video games, because that's we have in our family huge discussions about morality versus what is right and wrong, because there is a difference between what you morally think is wrong and right to what is actually a society dictation of what's wrong and right, and on either side that can go good or bad. So, like, I don't think it's okay that people hurt other people for any reason. But then I also know realistically, at some point in time, you're going to end up hurting somebody and may not even mean to hurt that person, but do so in helping someone else.
Yep, but I don't have to worry about that too much because, you know.
It's just like you talk about your own morality.
Right. And
Everybody
yes,
has different ones.
I know you're good in real life.
But that's the question. We don't know if he's really good in real life. He might be a nice guy, but doesn't necessarily mean he's good. Just the same way as I might be a nice person, but that doesn't necessarily mean I make good morality choices. They're not really something you're going to share, online with somebody. Because I've stolen before, I've stolen stuff, especially when I was younger. And I've also done the whole, I stole, pacifiers and diapers for my child. Because I didn't have enough money for them. But them things are expensive.
That's why my parents always used reusable diapers.
And I've sold formula. Not for myself, because my baby didn't do formula much. And then I've had friends that have done the same thing. And all of us at some point in time may have lied to a person of authority. Or speed.
I cannot, I will not lie. Say that I haven't not lied to a person of authority.
That's because Warhammer Birth universe is crazy. It's a crazy universe. Because they're all weird in that. Under our own standards. AC games? What are we talking about AC games though? What are we talking about? Playing evil and good people?
I can't argue that I have.
But from our interactions with him, he seems like an upstanding kind of guy. But the question then becomes, does he want to be an upstanding guy, or does he want to be seen as a wicked, evil person? But some people want to be seen as, because they equate evil as being strong-willed. I can stand up for myself. I have made some choices that aren't really great, but
Evil in games is fun, if you say so.
it's evil in some games is. Yeah, I've played evil, like Fable. I've done Fable as an evil person.
I never actually got to play very much of Fable.
Yeah.
I am excited about the new Fable coming out, though.
Yeah. They're pretty fun games.
Well, I've tried it on the PC when it finally came out for PC, because I never...
Mm-hmm.
I had an Xbox for a short time.
Oh, no. Ashenda had an Xbox for a short time. Shh, don't tell anybody.
I just did. I ended up giving it away. I gave it away to a friend of ours whose Xbox had died.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't using it. Because I think we only really got it for Dead or Alive.
That's interesting.
Oh, shut up, Drake. And he's like, boo!
However, he had an Xbox too.
Mm-hmm.
We all know the secrets here.
Yes, we do.
That's the only thing Roger will use is Xbox.
I don't like
He
that.
started out with PlayStation though. Nintendo.
I don't
Well,
like the
technically, I started
controller.
with Atari.
Atari, yeah. Well, a lot of people started with Atari.
I started with a
Then
Tandy.
Nintendo.
Okay, Senda had a Tandy. My
It's a
first
computer.
computer usage was at school, so I didn't ever own a computer.
Cool.
I went to college in 1991. I started doing computer programming, and that was my first introduction with computers and software.
Nope. My first place was a Tandy 1000.
Mm.
1 disk drive and no hard drive.
And interesting, my first computer was an Apple. When they first just came out, the school had Apples, and that's what they were running all the desktop publishing. That was my certificate I was doing. That was what they were all running, was on the Apples only. I had to take a class in Unix, and the Unix was only running. They were only running them on IBM machines. So that was my introduction to what my first words was on an IBM machine.
Well, Tandy was a Radio Shack.
I know, because I had looked at getting one, but then I just never got one because I didn't have the money. I lived on the poor side of the street since I was 16, so I didn't have no money.
Well, this, as you can tell, is a PS5. So don't feel bad, Casual.
What's Casual feeling bad about?
He
He
says
doesn't
I'm
know
a PS5.
computers.
He says I'm a PS5 peasant.
Yep. And he doesn't have a PC except for work-related PC.
I understand.
So he doesn't have any experience with PCs either.
Oh, I grew up on PCs. My first console was the Dreamcast.
So
Now, I played a little bit on Nintendo because I would go to my girlfriend's place and play, Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to play on a Game Boy because my mom said that she got me the Sega Game Gear, which is what I wanted, because I got the cleaning thing for the Game Gear, and then I got a Game Boy.
Yeah, I bought a Game Boy for myself and my daughter. We bought one. We bought two for me and her, and then for me and my son when the Game Boy Advance came out.
Yeah, but my mom didn't know the difference between a Game Gear and a Game. I was not
That's
a
true of
rich
most
kid.
parents.
We were comfortable, but rich, not so much.
Yeah, you have to first qualify that what you mean by rich. Like, what are you looking at? What represents rich? I came from an upper middle class family. We had 2 cars. We didn't have a pool, only because my dad didn't want to rip up the yard to put a pool in. And he said, why get a pool when you should just go to a public pool? Or we could go swimming in the lake. You don't need to rip up our yard because we sat on 1/4 of an acre, and he was very happy with his yard. But we went on, we did all the traditional middle class family stuff. We went on vacations and we went camping.
We didn't go camping.
We went camping
We
a
went.
lot.
We went to Orlando. We went to Kissimmee every summer.
What's Kissimmee?
It is basically the city right next to Orlando.
Well, interesting.
Put it to you this way: if you've ever seen and thought that was said, that people said Kissimmee, that's not how it said. Semi.
What's the name of the other one?
Everybody out of Florida says Kissimmee.
Kissimmee?
Kissimmee.
I've heard of Kissimmee. So that
not.
explains it.
Right, it's Kissimmee.
Oh, interesting. Well, that makes sense. We have a town here called Yahats, but they have T-shirts of every way that somebody has mispronounced it. Your cats, your chots, your hats. So.
Yeah, I figured if I said the way a lot of Northerners say it, no offense.
I'm not even a Northerner. I'm just a West Coast girl.
Well, again,
So I wouldn't know.
a lot of people other than Floridians, let's put it that way, non-Floridians.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I only go by what you tell me.
Most people don't know the difference. Sorry, people can't say a lot of Florida names, like Apalachicola.
Well, I have a hard time with a lot of Oregon names because I'm not from Oregon, so I always have to have people tell me how it's like Willamette. Willamette, I had to keep saying over and over, so I get it. Yahats.
Actually, the funnest one I have.
Silo.
Actually, you want to know the funnest one? Itchnatuckney.
How does everybody else say it?
I'm not even sure. I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know.
I guess I'd have to see it,
Let me see.
and then I could give and then I would just make a assumption based on what I saw.
I gotta look.
Nantucket's another one too. I think I pronounced that one incorrectly. I think that the people that live in Nantucket pronounce it differently.
There it is.
And a lot of Alaskan ones too.
Of course it's closed this time of night. It's like, it's closed. No, of course it's closed. It's too late at night. Coeur d'Alene?
That's another one too. They have one in Ireland, Idaho, by that name, and I can't remember to say it.
But there's Itchnatuckney right there.
What are you putting in there?
I put it in Twitch chat.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Ikatakani.
No.
That's how I would say it. Ikatakani. Yeah, so that's the one I have a hard time saying because, well, every time we pass through that, because I passed through it 4 times now, I still have a hard time saying it. I knew it was French, though. But unless I heard somebody say it, I can't say it because I don't do French. So, but yeah.
Now, if you want to say how you say itch, ICH, A for the E, tuck, E.
Interesting. Interesting. They all pronounce things really weird. I have a hard time, though, with my processing disorder pronouncing anything. I have to do it very phonetically. So that's why when I looked at it, it was ick-tuck-knee.
Actually,
That's
that's
how
what...
I saw it.
Well,
That's that way it is.
Itch, A, tuck, knee.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd get the itch part out of it. I would have got it more like a California ick.
Well, yeah, ick.
Ick.
Nah.
So I say it right. Ick.
Ick,
knee. Ick a knee.
Ick, tuck, T-U-C-K.
Oh,
Or
see, now I'm all
Yeah.
Now I'm all lost. Thank you.
Sorry. It's just something that, you know, because the best thing about the Icknatuckney is you can get some rafts or some tubes, inner tubes.
Yeah.
And there's a spot that you put your inner tube in, and you can go floating down the lazy river.
I can say lazy.
But you can go floating down the Itchnatuckney River. And let me tell you, there is so much fun just relaxing going down the river.
That's cool.
I haven't done that in ages. Maybe this summer, Fighter and I'll go tubing.
Have you been able to deal with getting outside? Because I know you and I talked about that. That was kind of a problem you had with one of the medications. Because my nephew has the same problem with one of his medications, and they had changed his medication so he could go outside more.
And fortunately, the medication that does that to me works. So
It worked on him too. His mother just asked because he couldn't go swimming or nothing.
I am not gonna shoot a space station. I have already apologized to Birdie many times about that.
About what?
Shooting a space station.
Oh.
I didn't know he was looking at a space station at the time.
Oh. And you shot it, and then they got
And then
mad.
he shot it.
We all do weird things sometimes.
And both Fighter and I both thought, you know, we were both in the wrong. And both of us have apologized to him many times.
I'm sure he has forgiven you.
He won't play it again though now.
Oh.
So is it
Yeah.
Snita River? Did I say that right, Cuzwalt? I love living in a small town. There's nothing I love more.
Living in a small town. Roger likes living in a small town too. We don't live in a small town.
Grew up.
But you like living in them too.
Hell yeah. Just fucking drunk.
Now Shendo says she likes living in a small town too. I don't want that. Thank you. I'll never use that. I don't know. I don't mind living in a small town, but I like going to visit big towns. I don't want to live in a big town. I used to live in a big town.
So did I.
I lived in Sacramento.
Oh, I've never
And
lived
then
in a
Reading
town
was kind of
that.
big.
I've never lived somewhere that big.
You never lived? Yeah, I lived in Sacramento all over it. I was where I grew up was considered a small town outside of Sacramento, but all over Sacramento, all the different pieces of it. I have been in downtown.
Where are you,
those
you
places,
stupid? Oh, don't tell me you're inside a building.
I always wanted to live in yeah, the fire's kindling, but it's just if I have to. How do you get that activated? But I thought that was.
Yeah, I'm not. We had 200 people in my graduating class.
I had 25 in my graduating class. Not because I went to a small town, but I lived in kind of a little. It wasn't that little. It was just that it was a small high school. It was a continuation high school, and all those people were the leftover people who hadn't graduated from regular school, or like me, had cut a whole year. I cut a whole year out, so I had to make it up so I could graduate on time. So I had to go to I had to go to a little school, which allowed me to do extracurricular activities to make my schooling up. Which is where I learned that you don't necessarily have to have the same regular ed that most people have, and you can still graduate and go to college, as I did. So. Well, because that's the myth they tell you is you have to do well in school. If you don't do well in school, you're not going to be able to go anywhere else in life, and it's not true. You can't. It's easier if you do it the traditional way. Because the whole thing's set up that way, but it's not impossible to do what you want to do, even if you didn't graduate from, or even if you didn't graduate. I mean, nowadays you can still go to college even if you don't graduate.
Yep. I'm aware of
You
that.
probably have to probably do a 2-year first and then go, but that's plus and negatives to all that too.
I have a friend whose daughter, I knew her daughter, but I barely remember her. Who's got her GED and is now going to the university.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I
just-
helped a lot of kids that have their GED and then they went on to become doctors, lawyers, nurses, welders, all kinds of stuff after they had been told that they'd never, really be able to do much of anything because they messed up.
Yep. Alrighty, let's see. Who's the one?
Just I don't need that either. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so up we go. Up we go, up and away. Okay, so I'm probably gonna be finishing this out real quick, and then I'm gonna be quitting.
That's actually what I was doing.
I'm
I was
sure
looking to see who I was going to raid.
Yeah, Ashenda's quitting now. She's going to raid somebody. Just because I've got some stuff I want to do, like sort my comic books. And get that. I'm trying to get that done. I'm still halfway through it. So I want to be able to do that and still do my other things. Like I said, I do writing on Saturdays, so I want to be able to.
We haven't raided Foxy, and she raided us, I think, yesterday. So let's raid her back. So.
Alright, everybody. Over there on Ashenda's Chitty Chatty. Talk to you later. Now remember, I will not be on for 2 weeks. For Saturdays. Next time we do our fun time together will be, the 15th of March.
The Ides of March.
Or, if we're all feeling good.
Alright, I will talk to you guys later, and we'll be back tomorrow, and I think it'll be black-tailed. I think that's what we'll do. Talk to you later!